Welcome to the Football Critters Podcast. I'm your host, the Otter, and with me are my co-hosts,
The bear.
And the moose.
Moosey.
Moosey. We love you. We love you, Moosey.
Yeah, I guess I love you guys too.
It's like,
It's good to
"God
know.
damn it."
It's good to know.
But it's 4 weeks into the NFL 2024 season. Last episode we had our power rankings before the season started. It is pretty much a couple hours before the Thursday night game. So this is just going to encompass all of the week 4 action, but we're going to update our power rankings based on the evidence we've seen. And I got to say, I feel like I still don't know shit.
Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
Like I was telling you guys before, this is a lot harder than the preseason one, or the first one we did.
I mean, I would say less than a quarter of these teams have been consistent throughout the first 4 games.
Yeah,
Less.
And I think my power rankings would have changed if we did this last week and then this week as well.
Oh,
yeah,
absolutely.
absolutely.
Yeah,
but I'm glad we did the quarter season mark, because it's like, the first 2 seasons are such a crapshoot because everyone's starters are coming off. Like, not everyone's played preseason games. No one's figured out what their identities are yet. Then people start rounding into form around 3, 4. And even then, at that point, they just realize what their weaknesses are sometimes too. It's like things could change like literally just as much in the next 4 weeks.
yeah. I think this one's going to be the toughest one because I think teams are going to get their shit together in the next upcoming weeks, and I think some of the teams are already got their shit together.
Well, and I mean, we see after the bye weeks go, I mean, teams change drastically.
Yeah,
after their bye weeks. Hopefully, the Eagles are one of them.
True that. True that.
He's like, please.
Please.
What do you guys think of the season so far? Just real quick.
I think it's great. The competition has been, I think, really good for the most part. I mean, it's hard to really say who the best team is right now, and I would say it's pretty rare to be at this point in the season not say there's a clear number one.
Yeah, I think it's been actually very sloppy, and I feel like
that's always
other than a few games here and there, it's been pretty bad to watch a lot of the games.
Yeah, you're like, oh no, what are you doing?
I mean, to watch the Eagles.
Oh, there's all of them pretty much.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's
maybe
a lot going on.
Maybe the Giants.
Yes, yeah.
But I don't know. It's just been. I mean, I've been loving it. The parody's great. Like you said, the sloppiness definitely brings the teams down to earth. So it's like anybody could win any given week.
Yeah, that's true.
You even have the Chiefs pretty much are like 5 plays away from being like 0-4 to start the season.
Yeah,
that's kind of how crazy it is.
And like you got the Bucks winning pretty decently one week, and then losing terribly to the Broncos the next week.
Yeah,
I mean, it's been pretty wild.
Oh, God, I love the NFL. But all right, well, how about we get started with our power rankings?
Oh boy. I wonder who number 32 is.
So this is not consensus.
Wow.
Number
I'm kind of surprised.
Number 32 is the Carolina Panthers.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They are trending up.
Yes, they are.
They are playing better. At least
which is the reason why I didn't put them on 32.
I like it. I like the boldness. I do. You got the red rifle magic. Is that what kind of convinced
exactly? Yeah, it just looks like a completely different team with him as QB. So that's
absolutely.
It really is. Like the talent just exploded. Like you knew it was somewhat there.
I mean, Andy Dalton took the Bengals to like, what was it like? Were they no, they weren't undefeated. I mean, they were like the top seed in their division at one point. There was a lot of good teams at that time. I mean, he's done a lot. I just think he's been overlooked.
Yeah, I just think it's a veteran of it. Like I don't think he's like gonna be great or anything, but I just think the veteran presence on that team with all the young players on there and him being able to understand what's going on more than the second year young.
I mean, he's just getting killed.
Yeah, exactly.
There's no other way to put it.
Yeah, I was close to putting them up a little higher. They were actually like extremely close to the next team. Because their offensive line has been amazing so far this season. Which helped, was help out Chuba Hubbard, helps out Andy Dalton take the time to pick apart defenses. It feels like a veterans league this year. You know what I mean? Like all these most of these young players anyway, kind of seem like they're struggling, and the people who are in the league more than like 8 to 10 years just can come in and just make things happen. And I think, Andy Dalton, bringing about Deontay Johnson. But the thing that killed me for them was just their defense is absolutely decimated with injuries. That's why I couldn't put him that much higher. Well, the lowest on the totem pole anyway.
And I mean, who knows? Maybe Bryce Young will bounce back. Maybe there's a chance he gets in by the end of the year. But I think the best thing is for him to sit.
Yeah, definitely. I'm still rooting for him.
Oh yeah, I don't wish him anything bad. I mean, but what's on the field is just not going to do it.
It was just disgusting to watch, and I was a huge Young fan.
Yeah, exactly. Me too.
Out.
I wasn't.
So a blind squirrel finds a nut every now and then.
Come on, Hooker.
Hey, you
still got a chance.
Your other blind nut's looking good too with Malik Willis, but we can talk about that later.
That wasn't a blind nut. I still believe. I'm pretty sure I said on our preseason podcast or something.
Yeah, you probably name drop him. I feel like you're always going to find a reason to. Anyway,
even when nobody likes him.
Moving on to number 31, the New England Patriots.
Man, they dropped quick.
they
started off good.
Yeah, they did. I thought.
Yeah, one game. I mean,
they had like.
I mean, they held
games.
The Seahawks.
Yeah, they played well.
I guess, yeah.
I mean, they were.
Yes.
You could tell how one-dimensional they were in that game.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
So one-dimensional that they went into overtime with you guys, and Seahawks are a good team.
Yeah, but Ramondre Stevenson was going through a tear those first 2 weeks, and their defense isn't no slouch. But I mean, one-dimensional offensively because can't really throw the ball that well.
No, because the offensive line can't block anything.
Oh my god, they were getting destroyed.
Yeah,
those last 2 weeks.
Yeah, I feel pretty bad for Brissett. Let's not put May in yet.
No, God, no. Save it another year.
I don't even know if I want Brissett out there. Let's put let's just get Deshaun Watson out there.
Yeah,
just trade for him just to kill him.
Yeah, just to kill him. That's fine.
Yeah, I mean, the only reason they're higher than the Panthers because their defense is so good. Well, so good. They're above average.
Good. Just about
average defense. Yeah.
The linebacker play on week 3 and 4, man, was really falling off. I mean, it didn't look bad. I thought the first 2 weeks, but man, especially against the Jets, man, they weren't changing anything in that game.
Yeah, absolutely not.
But, I mean,
yeah, there's not really much to say. I mean, they kind of. I had him at 32 in the before the season as well, so I don't know. I just expected that their offense wasn't going to do anything, just like it isn't now. So,
yeah, they just don't have the weapons developed yet.
Yeah, exactly.
To do anything, and like you said, the offensive line isn't going to let them get the time to get open anyway. It's going to be able to tee off on them, but I think if they can stick to the run game and just support the quarterback as much as they can in that regard. I don't think they'll be a bad team this year, but that's if that can happen. I mean, I think they're on their 3rd string guys at this point for O-line, so.
Is that much of a difference from the first stringers?
You'd be surprised sometimes. Some of them shouldn't even be on the field.
I know. I think I just saw their center's going to be out for a while.
I know. Was it David Andrews?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a shame.
Yeah, so not much positivity going that direction.
No, but I don't think anybody was thinking they would. You just wanted to see what pieces would develop for the future of the team and how Jared Mayo does if he's the future. And so far, he has them playing mostly disciplined on the defensive side for the most part. Offenses has its ups and downs. So,
I mean, I knew the offensive line wasn't going to be good, but man, this was bad. This was really bad.
All right, that about wraps up the Patriots. Now, number 29 and 30 are tied,
Ooh.
but we'll go with the number 30 would be the Tennessee Titans.
Yep. Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
fair.
yep.
I mean, I, I don't know, man. Like, are they bad? Yeah, they're bad, but there's still a lot of good pieces all over the place on that team.
Yeah, I think it's
I mean,
mostly just the offense.
I'm kind of shocked that I mean they are where they are because I just think there's some teams that are playing right now that are just completely defeated and just show little signs of effort to want to win games in front of them, I guess, on our power rankings. I mean, I still think they're going to get better. I mean, Levis is playing bad.
Yeah, I was
know?
gonna bring that up.
I
Will
mean-
Levis has got like a new like meme about him every single week about what he's been doing in games. So
Oh, his
But
highlights are hilarious.
yeah, exactly.
But put my bias aside. When Mason got in, they were a lot better.
Yeah, they weren't
Yeah,
having Christmas early by gifting balls to the defense.
Yeah, you're right.
exactly.
I mean, they
And
played a lot better with him in there.
That's a veteran play. Sometimes discipline matters more than the high end play, especially how everything's being like
I mean,
everyone complaining about too high shells and stuff like that.
he wasn't killing them, and Levis absolutely was.
But I mean, I'm loving how their defense is playing hard though.
And Snead is playing very well.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, they got some rookies that are doing very well too on that defense. There was two that definitely caught my eye. One, it's kind of hard to miss, but I guess we might talk about him later.
I just love how the coach talks about Levis every week. You guys hear his like press conferences?
I actually have avoided them, so I don't know what much there is to talk about.
Oh,
So
it's just funny how it's like, most coach speaks is like, oh, he's still learning, like he's still our guy. Well, he still does that, he's still our guy, but he completely shits on him. It's like, yeah, I think he's like a blind duck wouldn't have thrown that or something like that. Like
oh shit.
he's just completely tears them apart. He's like, yeah, that was bad. Like he's not gonna be our QB if he keeps doing shit like that. And he keeps doing shit like that.
Yeah.
And his faces are hilarious.
Yeah, exactly. His just reactions are hilarious. Like I think that was week 1 against the Bears when he threw the pick 6 and he was on his knees.
Yeah.
Just like me at the Wawa.
Yeah.
But all right. Tied for them would be their division mate, the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah.
They were actually the bottom ranked team for Moosey.
Yes. Yeah, they just look like they just don't have anything going for them right now. Nothing is I mean, I guess there's a rookie that looks pretty good, but that's about it.
I mean,
Oh,
they do have weapons, man. I mean,
yeah.
Kirk is okay, even though he's dropped some balls that I'm still trying to understand why. I mean, Ingram's going to come back any week now.
Mhm.
The O line isn't great, and Lawrence is playing scared.
Yeah,
But-
he has no confidence to his game right now.
Yeah. It just everything looks disorganized for them right now.
It feels like a Doug Peterson Eagles team.
Yeah, exactly.
Before they
Dude,
fired him.
Yeah,
As I-
exactly.
As I said in the preseason rankings, though, I mean, that secondary, dude, is just garbage. I mean, outside of Cisco, I'm not seeing anything.
Campbell's good, but he's been hurt.
As I say, he's not been on the field.
No, not at all. I think he was on IR for these. So most of these players that have been on IR, the pup list now come back. Well, are eligible to come back this week. So, more important pieces could be filling out rosters now. So we'll see how that changes things and mixes things up for teams as time goes on. And I think he'll be one of them shortly.
I mean, they got totally manhandled by the Bills. That was pretty
Oh, they got
pretty sad.
spanked in front of the
But-
audience.
Yeah.
I mean,
Bare ass.
I have them a little higher ranked than Moosey, obviously, but I mean, dude, they played decent against the Texans. I mean, I just don't think you can understate that. They did play decent compared to their other games.
they just don't seem to have that winning mentality though. Like that extra
Yeah.
fight you see the teams that like they have that culture. Like
I
I
mean, the D
it's like
line
they'll
isn't
come
playing
out they'll
bad.
come out fast and then they'll like just give up the lead. Like they did that with the Dolphins. They did that with the Texans. I mean, they're both like explosive teams, but I just feel like if you have that winning mentality or that I guess even that it's just hard to say because maybe you can come out swinging, but then you just don't have the gas to do it, to continue the whole fight.
I just feel like all the teams we've talked about so far, I don't see any of them as playoff teams. But these guys, I do. Like
You think the
I
Jags is
think
a
they could
playoff team?
still turn around. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I believe in Trevor Lawrence. I don't think he's the top 10 QB at all, but I believe in his floor.
I
Yeah.
mean, I believe he's got weapons in the
He's got
running
weapons.
game and in the passing game. I think the offensive line is okay. I think that the pass rush is decent. But like I said, I mean, the secondary is crippling, and if Lawrence's head is not in the game, they're not going to do anything.
Like I said, I think I put him so low because of the coaching part of that team. It just looks everyone. It doesn't look like it's an organized team.
I agree.
Who's their offensive coordinator?
It's a great question.
Is it Troy Press or whatever his name? Press or something? I thought it was Doug Peterson's second son that he loves more than his actual son.
Oh, Press
Press
Taylor.
Taylor.
Press
Oh
Taylor,
God, yeah.
yeah.
No wonder it looks like the old Eagles.
It's getting PTSD.
God, I cannot believe he still has a job. It's crazy.
Look, we're just going to send him a gift. His name is Randy Fiegner. You love it. Mhm.
Ugh, God.
Yeah.
I honestly did not know he still had a job.
Yeah, I'm surprised too, but that's the problem with Doug.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I would be shocked if he is still there by like week 8, week 9.
But they're still going to
Surprised
make the
either over there.
playoffs.
I mean, I think talent on the roster's there.
There's a lot that goes into NFL teams on the roster, but
Yeah, I would agree, but I still think there's a lot of talent there compared to a lot of the other teams we've just talked about and teams we haven't even talked about yet.
Mhm.
I mean, like I said, I'm genuinely shocked they're here when we haven't talked about the Raiders yet, the Dolphins yet. The Jets are starting to scare me.
I just consider them in my brain a spoiler team in the future. Like I think they have the talent and they're good enough overall to play spoiler for playoff caliber teams, but
yeah,
I
can
just
see
don't.
that.
I just can't consider them a playoff team at this point, especially with the coaching stays the way it is. But
Things change quick, man.
that is true. All right. Speaking of Giants, our number 28.
Yeah. Daniel Jones is kind of ass.
Kinda.
And yet, he has the best passer rating for all NFC East quarterbacks.
Well, that's not a big
Sounds
achievement.
I'm just think that's beautiful. That's the most NFC
it's
East
better
thing.
than Dak.
Yeah, that's the most NFC East thing I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah.
Because he only had that one bad game, and then Daniel Jones didn't really play terrible enough to lose games. He's just not good enough to win games.
Yeah, I can see that. The end of the Cowboys game last week, I'm just like, Jesus. Oof, man, he just cannot play winning football.
No. He chokes so badly.
Yeah.
But man, Malik Neighbors, man. Oh my god.
Oh god.
Oh my god, is he fun to watch?
Just as Dave makes me feel things.
I mean, me and the Otter were talking about this earlier this week when I was watching some tape, and the thing that I think is the most surprising to me is like the offensive line, as bad as it's been through the years, I don't think they're that bad now. They actually look decent. And
Yeah.
the pass rush, I mean, is looking okay. But I mean the secondary, they're bullying guys in that secondary right now, and Daniel Jones is panicking. And honestly, they don't have a real running back. They don't.
Well,
They don't have a starter.
it's just funny because it's pretty much just what me and Moose said at the beginning of the season with them. Like they traded away Saquon Barkley, quote unquote. They didn't actually trade him, obviously, for 2 more guards that play like above average level, or 2 more players, 1 tackle, 1
to
guard,
get the same result.
essentially. But at least one's more stable over time and won't depreciate in value as the.
I just feel like Saquon and Neighbors sounds a lot better than 2 offensive linemen that are playing
Yeah, but you also got to figure out
mid-tier O-line play.
you had to protect Daniel Jones. You paid him that money. Like he would. You're not.
What are you protecting him from? I mean, he's gonna throw the ball away anyways.
You're gonna have to, if you're gonna pay a QB like $40 million, you can't just hand it off to the running back the whole time.
It's hard to protect a quarterback who can't protect the ball.
And it's a win-win scenario. Like if he sucks with this O line, at least the QB they get in the top 5 next year won't be behind an ass O line. And then they get the same result like they would next year, still lose Saquon, or basically have Saquon be pissed that he's bad behind a bad O line again, and then bring in a QB that also is going to be behind a bad O line. Like,
Yeah.
So that's why I'm glad they did that, and it definitely looks like it's paying off for them, at least in the passing game. I do love what they're doing, Malik Neighbors, because they are just pressing the easy button as many times as they can, because
Yeah,
that's what he
exactly.
fucking is.
Well, just put the ball somewhere in his vicinity, and he's gonna go for it.
Yeah.
I mean,
I am concerned for his health, though. He's
am
going to
too.
get hit so many times.
He's not playing safe football for himself.
Him, Daniel Jones throws him hospital balls, and just the level amount of targets he's getting is just, not many receivers are going to get popped 16 times a game.
Yeah. I mean, he left the Cowboys game because of that.
Oh yeah, what, he had a concussion or something?
Yeah, I believe so.
Oh yeah. I forgot about that.
Yeah. So
So begins.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But yeah, I couldn't get them much higher. Not everything is complete yet, clearly. And the only thing I feel like they really have on defense right now is that, D line with Dexter Lawrence and what's his face from the Panthers?
Wow. Can't believe I'm blanking on it.
Brian Burns, that's what it is.
That's it.
Oh.
Burns.
So, like, their secondary still needs help. Though I do like them trying to address it over the offseason. Apparently Andrew Phillips is playing really well. I haven't watched.
He didn't catch my eye on tape, but yeah, I mean his stats absolutely put him as the best corner in stat wise.
Yeah. So I was just like, all right, I'm excited to actually go back and check out his tape, because obviously it's hard to pay attention to the Giants.
Yeah.
I mean when they're throwing the ball downfield all the time, I mean on them because they can't stop anybody. You'd think you would notice them, but yeah, I haven't really seen much of them. They're picking apart Banks, and it's pretty sad. Because I don't think he's terrible.
Him too.
Well, I don't think he's even that bad. I just think, they got to leave him out there alone because the other guys can't handle it.
They're all young too. Like, it's a second year. Like, sometimes it takes the learning curves are all different.
And yeah. And again, I think their goal this year is to figure out what Daniel Jones is, which I don't know why they needed to figure it out. It's pretty obvious.
Haven't we had enough time for that?
They paid him the money, so
yeah, exactly. I think it's just more to pay out his contract.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, fuck. Why did we do this?
Yeah.
But who knows? Like, Daniel Jones was never like an awful QB, I don't think. Not top 20, but yeah. I think he can win games. He's just, you need someone special, or at least better than Daniel Jones. But
yeah, you need someone with a winning mentality, and it just doesn't have that.
Yeah, I agree. But all right, moving on to number 27, the Miami Dolphins. The Miami IR Dolphins.
Yeah.
Tanking for Tua again, are we?
Tanking with Tua.
Tanking with Tua.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, when I saw him go in for that DeMar Hamlin hit, I was like, oh no. Like, I felt it in my gut as I saw him lean forward. I'm like, you are not going to do this. And then he did it, and I'm like, oh, no. Not again. Not again. When's he going to learn? I just don't get it, man. He just hasn't figured it out.
Slide, motherfucker. Slide.
Yeah, exactly.
I personally never been a big fan of the guy, but like at the same time, I don't want to see him get hurt. You know what I mean? Like it's like, geez, man, like you make your own bed the way you play.
Yeah, it's really sad that he's hurt because this offense is amazing to watch when he is healthy and is playing, and like
Isn't that
now it's
crazy?
yeah,
Like,
and now it's just slop watching the Dolphins.
I mean, to
like
be
who
fair,
would have thought he was like the gasoline to that engine? Like
Uh,
now they're just
oh,
crude.
absolutely.
Now they're just crude oil. Like
Yeah, exactly.
But dude, that offensive line is the worst. I mean, the worst in the league. They are
Yeah.
a wet paper bag.
Yeah, I think Otter brought this up in our first power rankings with them. I think they just built the team around Tua, like, and to his specialties and what he's good at.
Good at
Like
taking hits.
the Otter brought up his like release time was like the shortest in the league and all that. So you build a team around a QB, and then he gets concussed for the fourth time or whatever it is, and then
and then
I
that
don't know.
shortest time turns into like one of the bottom
Yeah.
5 times, and you're just gonna get wrecked every play.
Yeah, you have Skylar Thompson going out there for you the next week.
Yeah, or Tim
Yeah.
Boyle.
I mean, I don't think it matters who it is. They're going to struggle. That's how bad that offensive line is.
That just like just how shows how like paramount Tua is to the offense, which is crazy.
I mean, dude,
Yeah.
like there were so many plays that like you could pause the play after 1 second, and like all the offensive linemen on the field are like 5 yards back. It's like how could any quarterback, let alone Tua, put Tua aside for a second here. How many quarterbacks in the league could actually operate an offense under that? They
Yeah.
can't.
On top of like Teron Armstead, I think got hurt again. The only
Well,
one you
I mean,
would somewhat trust.
Yeah, exactly.
as if that's not common. I mean,
Exactly. It's such a shame. And like even their defense is, I don't think I always thought their roster was like average. Like Jalen Phillips is on season-ending IR with his ACL injury. And I like Sealer. Like Sealer looked good. Calais Campbell can at least be good against the run. And I like their secondary. It's just
oh yeah.
I think this is another point that we brought up in the last one is that they just have no run defense, and that's what's really killing them.
Well, Chubb's still out, right? I didn't notice.
He's still out.
I don't think he's playing right now.
Yeah,
He
got put on the pup.
Oh, okay, so he'd be
so.
eligible to come back then soon.
Yeah, but
Probably.
I don't think they expect to.
Yeah, he'll probably take his time.
Mhm.
I will say on a non-football related, like as a life related, I'm glad they put Tua on IR to really think about his career.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Just as like the human aspect of this thing, and just let him decide. Like they're not telling him to retire. They're just like, hey, just take 4 weeks, relax, recover. Like think about if you want to retire. If you don't, great. We would love to have you back, but like for your sake, we're going to give you the opportunity to really think and talk to your family too. Like maybe you want to, but maybe your family convinces you otherwise. Like you never know.
I mean, I think we all forget too quickly about Andrew Luck.
Yeah, that too.
Honest to God, like I just
Yeah.
when I saw this injury and I saw how bad that offensive line was playing that day, I'm just like, did we all forget like how good Andrew Luck was, and how bad his O-line was, and they can't get hit like that all the time, man. I mean, especially as much as he's gotten hit. I mean, it's so sad.
What? It's his third concussion now.
It's 5th.
I was gonna say it's way more than that.
Oh, it's third concussion of his NFL career.
Yeah, but I don't think I could have put the Dolphins much lower for me just because they do have all these speed weapons. They just need to figure out how to get them utilized with a different quarterback. So I think they're smart enough to figure it out. It's just taking longer than you'd expect.
I just don't think if Tua doesn't come back, I think they'll probably be the first overall pick. I really mean that.
Right? If they trade Tyreek Hill, I'll agree with you.
I mean, do we feel like this is gonna happen? Like, does this feel real? Like, it's hard for me to tell.
They're gonna play it out. They're gonna play it out closer to the deadline. They want to see what they can do because they're built to win now. Like their goal was to win get in the playoffs and win a Super Bowl this year.
Because they just gave him a contract extension too, didn't
Exactly.
Yep.
So they're gonna ride it out, and they might just keep him anyway just because of that. So you never know. But
I'm just trying to think how attractive it is to take Tyreek with the money that he's probably getting, and I mean, yeah, he's getting up there. It's crazy to think, but he is. He's definitely getting up there in age.
less depressing topics, or is it?
I don't know. We're still pretty far back on the list.
Yeah.
We're going to be talking about a team for another trade offer for a wide receiver.
Oh boy,
Las Vegas Raiders.
the
Number
Raiders.
26.
Probably the most volatile team there is on this list. Like, played decent against the Chargers, beat the Ravens, and then got whacked by the Panthers. And
Yeah.
basically, like, didn't know how to play against the Browns either. I mean, I just don't get it. I mean, I think they are the most up and down team right now. And some of the character decisions by their coach is really making me wonder what the heck's going on there.
I don't like how he does some things, but I do agree with his overall sentiments. If you don't want to be on the team, we don't want you on the team. Like,
Yeah.
I get that. How you do it, sure. You're gonna turn
I mean-
like social media diva shit, sure. At that point, you're like, he rallied the team last year. He seems like he's keeping the team competitive for the most part so far. I mean, they were playing without Max Crosby like some of those games.
The defense, the pass rush is looking decent.
Yeah.
I think it looks pretty good, actually.
Tyree Wilson's might come back. Malcolm Kuntz, I'm hoping, comes back soon. He played well last year. I think overall they're a pretty balanced team, I think.
Yeah. I mean, I put them at 24. Like the Bear said, that they're just so up and down. And I mean, the QB is Gardner Minshew. So
I mean, that's
high
why
can
I
you go?
couldn't. That's why I couldn't put them any further than 29 because he just the last 2 weeks, man. I mean, oof, wow, he just looks bad, and they have weapons. I mean, Bowers is looking good. I think obviously Devontae Adams and Jacoby Myers. You know, these are all great players, and this offensive line is impressive.
They're also utilizing Trey Tucker's speed a lot too. Like he's been
Yeah,
coming on.
yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Trey Tucker's been looking good. The run game is what it is.
Yeah, well, how far are you going to get with Alexander Madison and Zamir White at this point? Like,
It just surprises me that
Probably
you
the
wanna
worst
keep
running back room.
Jacobs. Was it maybe that Jacobs didn't want to be there?
it's
I never
it's hard
really
to
heard
tell.
anything on it, but like, I just feel like if he was there, they'd be so much higher on my list. But
Sounds
it
like
just,
he keeps things close to the vest.
yeah.
yeah. I mean, he's not having the greatest year himself, so I don't know. I feel like they're very one-dimensional on their offense, even though I think the pass game is looking really good, and like I said, the offensive line I think is massively improved from what we've seen last year.
Yeah.
And their rookie offensive lineman hasn't even played that much yet.
But he did look good when he was out there, so hopefully.
Yeah, I would expect so.
All right, let's move on to 25. The Cleveland Browns.
Oof.
God, it feels like they should be lower. Just
Yeah.
based
Don't
off
worry,
the
boys.
talent.
Everything's going to be fine now. Chubb is back. He's going to play quarterback and running back now, and they are a playoff team again.
Yeah, they have Chubb do it by taking the ball out of Watson's hands.
Give me that.
His sticky, lubed up hands.
Why do you? No, don't diddy this.
Oh, sorry.
There will be no Diddy references on our podcast.
You're the one who said Diddy. I just said Watson, who's a football
Well,
player.
you said lubed hands. I mean, I don't know how much further you could go.
But yeah, I mean, other than him, like him and their offensive line is
Yeah, their
utter
offensive
trash.
line. Their offensive line is really bad. which
I
I'm
don't
very
get it
surprised
either.
about.
Yeah, me
I'm
too.
shocked how bad they look.
Yeah, because they were like one of the best offensive lines like just last year, and it didn't change that much.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think some of them were hurt, but there's no excuse to look like
They're
a
only
wet
getting
paper
older.
cardboard box. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The thing is they are only getting older. I mean, you know,
And
a lot of those-
things fall off faster than you think. Like sometimes it's not a steady decline when you
Yeah.
when thing.
And honestly, DeJuan Jones has been playing pretty sloppy.
Yeah, well,
Like I've been seeing him get beat a lot. Now, honestly, I wasn't that crazy about him when it came to the draft. Based on what we saw last year, I really thought we were going to see better.
I mean,
I
he's
think
just-
they're
he's a
one of the
big dude.
biggest. Yeah, I think the Browns are the biggest like fall off from what we expected. I think.
because their defense isn't also playing as up to the caliber they were last year, like by a significant degree. Like Miles Garrett's still Miles Garrett, but he's actually playing with a fracture in his foot. So who knows how that's going to stop him from playing? How much that's going to degrade his usual production? And yeah, he's still a freaking monster. But
Oh yeah.
but just like the secondary is just not playing as disciplined.
No, and it's really they're almost as weird as the offensive line. Like I trusted both of those groups on this team, and it just seemed like they fell off. I just don't understand it.
It just sucks because their players are some of my favorite players in the league to watch.
Yeah, exactly.
Like especially Garrett and Wosu Koromoa.
Oh yeah.
I love Greg Newsome. Denzel Ward used to be on that list, but I think he's been kind of playing too sloppy the last 2 years.
Well, even on the other side of him at corner, what's his name?
Emerson.
No,
Really?
not Emerson.
Yeah, I think it is Emerson.
I think he's starting.
Over Newsome?
I don't think over Newsome.
Yeah, I think Newsome is nickel.
I mean, I saw some bad plays from Newsome in that game, and I was like, wow. I mean, in a few games, I was like, wow. Okay.
Yes, it's Martin Emerson is who you're thinking of.
I mean, I saw some plays from Newsome. I thought he was playing outside, but I guess I'm wrong. Yeah, man. I mean, I hope that Chubb can maybe reignite this team. I mean, Amari's still playing well, and Jerry Judy's getting open.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know Njoku's hurt right now, but I mean,
I mean, he'll be back. I think.
yeah, he'll
this
be
week.
back. You know,
Can't wait.
But Deshaun just looks bad.
Yes, he does.
He's another one playing scared, kind of like Lawrence, kind of like Hurts. I don't really understand it.
Well, he's always been playing bad these last 3 years, so I'm kind of.
I mean, I'm not rooting
It's
for
kind
him.
of. It's kind of more to
Yeah,
be
I'm not-
expected at this point.
Yeah, one of the very
Yes,
few
you would-
guys I don't root for.
Yeah, but you'd be like, you would at least assume there would be some improvement to his game, and I just haven't seen it at all, which is surprising.
I almost feel like it's degrading.
Yeah. I mean, behind that offensive line, how else would it go, though? Like,
Mhm.
you have to be so much faster through processing, and his processing wasn't his best attribute anyway. So he would have to be behind an Eagles offensive line or some other team with great pass protection.
You know, I really thought they were going to be a good team this year. I thought even, you know, whatever I feel about him, I thought Deshaun Watson would definitely bounce back at least a bit here. You know, with the weapons they've added, you know, with hopefully Chubb coming back. Because, I mean, they still ran the ball well last year without Chubb. And that is not what we are seeing this year
Yeah.
in the slightest.
No, Jerome
I mean,
Ford isn't the guy.
They
But
just look defeated.
I just don't know how you can run with that offensive line though either. Like,
Yeah.
they're just not doing
Making
it.
holes. Can't do it.
But all
This
right.
feels so depressing. We gotta start getting these good teams, man.
All right. Well, let's not do that too fast because we got the Bears at 24.
Oof.
I'm just kidding. They're not a bad team. I don't think they're bad, but
Yeah,
actually,
it's just- rookie QB.
yeah, I think the potential's there.
I think the defense is playing well.
Oh yeah,
I mean, for the most part, I mean, they're looking pretty good.
I'm actually surprised we have them this low.
I think I
Yeah.
have them higher than this.
You have them one spot higher.
Yeah, I have him
okay.
at 22. So
Yeah, your Moose was the highest on them. I actually had them at 24, but we were all pretty right in this, like 1 point from each other, pretty much.
yeah, but I think they are going to get better. The more they play and the farther the season goes on, but they just, yeah, it's another one where it's just like they're not doing too much, nothing too impressive yet.
But I gotta ask you guys this because I could not come to an answer from myself, and I'm trying to say this without bias. Have
Well, I already know
you
who-
seen significant improvement from Caleb Williams?
Oh yeah, Yeah,
Yeah.
I've seen a significant
Mhm.
improvement. It's week to week.
Significant?
If you're going from if you're
Like
basing
from
it
week
from
1 to week 4.
yes, I would say
Yeah,
significant.
definitely.
Week
Week
1
1,
was
he looked awful.
yeah, exactly. I was gonna say like I would be concerned if it wasn't significant, and it is.
I mean,
It
look, he's another player I feel a little bad for because the offensive line is just terrible. I thought they'd be better than this. I'm pretty disappointed.
My theory on why they're playing so bad is that they were never good to begin with. So the reason I say that is when you have Justin Fields behind a line, you're really worried about his mobility because he's an athletic freak. So usually the edge rushers are playing more contain or don't have they're not trying to flush him out of the pocket, you know. So they're not just teeing off on him. Whereas now, you know, yeah, Caleb's mobile, but he's not fast. Like he's not incredibly fast. Like he can just scramble. That's all he really can do, not run. And so they can just tee off on him. So you have him trying to get the speed up to the game while also getting teed off on. And I don't think the offensive coordinator is really doing him many favors anyway.
No.
But that's also not really an excuse for him because if that's the case, like you should be stop trying to take kill shots and holding the ball too long. That's his problem right now. Is that he still has that mentality.
Yeah, exactly. I think
Just
he's
look how
still
much.
just.
I'm sorry.
I still think he is just trying to play hero ball like he was in college still, and I think he just needs to be coached more. And I mean, I think he will get better because I think he seems pretty coachable, just from afar. But who knows?
I mean, based on like what?
Hard knocks, baby.
He
Well,
can
just
do
Hard
a
Knocks and-
slide.
just like I mean, Hard Knocks and just the way he's been playing. I mean, he's been playing a lot less like that, but I mean, he's still
Yeah.
doing it obviously, but he's playing better. So, and they're running the ball a lot more. They're just being more conservative, which is what he needs to just get a hold of everything.
Yeah, like
Before
help your rookie QB. Like I didn't
Yeah.
want, and I think highly of Drake May, and I didn't want him playing his first year really.
I
Yeah,
don't
exactly.
play this
Like-
the way they're playing.
Yeah, and Caleb Williams is like kind of in a similar spot, but they really didn't have any choice. Like they didn't plan that far like the Patriots did, I think, to have a starting caliber guy be able to step in.
Mhm.
You know,
he's just more raw, and he just needs to be coached up. Like I said, I think he'll be fine.
yeah, I think so too. I think probably by halfway through the season, you'll definitely see some significant improvement, especially as the weapons start to gel with him too.
Yep.
So
I mean, you couldn't have more weapons, honestly.
yeah,
Yeah.
but chemistry matters,
Exactly.
Did they gotta cry together? Is that what needs to happen?
and do each other's nails. Does that make
Oh,
does
yeah.
that make you feel better, bud?
I just don't see DJ Moore as that kind of guy.
Hey, DJ Moore's eating pink ice cream with his daughters, so I don't.
You
wanna-
know, I feel like we're talking about very different things here. I just think these are way different levels.
I
I
don't
think
know.
they're about the same.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
You don't like bubblegum ice cream?
I don't like bubblegum in general. So
Yeah, exactly. No.
No, that hot dog ice cream looked nasty.
Yeah, it did.
I actually deleted that from my head. Thank you for bringing it back.
You're welcome. But let's move on. I could talk about the Bears all day, but 23. This is actually the second most consistent one we've had was the Denver Broncos. 23, 22, and 23 were our rankings.
Whoa.
Their defense is playing pretty solid.
I think
Yeah,
that's
that's
great.
Yeah, exactly. They're playing great. That's the only reason why they're up here.
Yeah, exactly. 100% agree.
Because their offense is atrocious.
Yeah, it's bad.
But
Yeah.
their defense.
I mean,
is
not that I'm shocked. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, you guys were right about Sean Payton. He's definitely past his I feel prime when it comes to coaching offensively. I
Yeah.
think I tiered him a little too high. Definitely knocked
Yeah.
his grade down a little bit.
I'm surprised you liked him as much as you did just because of Russell.
Oh well, I just it was hard to tell whether it was the scheme because the scheme would never have worked with him anyway. And it's not like I liked the guy. I just thought the coaching was always good. But
Man, they got some serious improvement this year.
yeah, their defense though is playing fantastic with like guys that aren't like front page top tier names. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Like other than Sertan, who
Mhm.
I know everyone's giving him his flowers. He's been pretty grabby this year. I mean, last 2 weeks he's been locked down. Like, and I think he's
Yeah.
looked
Yeah,
really
it
good.
definitely the last 2 weeks have definitely been a jump.
But but you always have a not Hall of Fame, but you have a top tier corner on your team. Even their new safeties are playing great. Like
Yeah,
I'm
what's his
surprised on their Brandon Jones.
Brandon Jones, he's been playing very well.
I'm surprised. He looks fantastic. And even Jaquan McMillan, the UDFA,
Mhm.
the slot kid, is doing good.
I mean,
And
the defensive front doesn't look bad either. I mean, like,
Oh yeah,
I
that
think,
too.
like I said, all around, I think the defense looks solid.
let's just keep talking about the defense and not even talk about the offense.
What offense are we what offense?
Yeah, exactly.
You mean Bo Nix's 9 passes for negative 17 yards in the first quarter last year?
Let's talk about the kicking game. Let's talk about the kicking
Yeah, let's look.
In all honesty, like Bo Nix is obviously not pushing the needle, but I just don't. I like Bo Nix. Like I'm surprised he's playing he's playing like a gunslinger some of these games.
And he just doesn't
When that
have
wasn't his
the
game.
arm.
Like I didn't think that was his game. He never showed that to be his game. The last 2 years of Oregon,
Mhm.
he played it safe, and now he decides to do it.
Yeah, I
Like,
don't get it.
in games that like weren't even out of reach. Like it just seems strange. I
I
don't
Yeah.
mean, he's young. As we always say, there's time to improve. People can get better.
Sure.
But as of today, yeah. uh not playing like a first round pick in the slightest.
We'll see. Hopefully they figure something out with that, especially offensively with the play calling.
Yeah,
It's literally
yeah,
Cortland
okay.
Sutton had 60 of their 69 yards last year receiving as worldwide play. I'm not even kidding.
Yeah, I know.
And you know what's crazy? In the midway through the third quarter, Bo Nix had 53 yards. Cortland Sutton had 60 at the time.
Yikes.
Yeah, I think it's like the play calling. It's not back to the Caleb Williams stuff. Like it's the coach needs to help out the rookie QB, and I don't think he's doing that at all.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you. That's why I've like just completely tanked their offensive coaching.
Well, the thing that like shocked me when I watched the Steelers game, I just didn't feel like they changed up the game that much from half to half. It's like, okay, well, you're struggling doing this, so we'll do something different. No, they just stuck to the same game plan. I hate saying this, but I mean, it's kind of what high school football teams do, not the NFL. I'm pretty shocked.
Let's talk about another IR team. Number 22, the LA Rams.
A team that would probably be a lot higher on my list if they weren't so injured.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean,
Yeah, but
it's so sad.
the fact that they're this high is based on 3 things. Sean McVay, Matt Stafford,
Mhm.
and goddamn that defense is playing pretty damn good for being as young and like inexperienced as it is. Like especially the rookies.
I mean, even some of the young guys they have in there got injured. It was like one of their safeties. I'm trying to remember what his name is. Got hurt. One of the safeties they have is I
Was
think
like
either a rookie or second year player. I mean, he was looking really good, and then he went on. I think he's on IR now. I'm trying to remember what his name is. It's gonna bug me.
I mean, there's John Johnson who's an IR, but he's 28. And I think he
that's
was
the name.
I think John Johnson was a starter. But yeah, I mean their DBs are what's really killing them pretty badly, especially Tre'Davious White.
yeah. Oh my god.
Tre'Davious White has been hard to watch.
Well,
Yeah, he's hit the point where I don't think he can play man anymore.
Yeah,
Which he never was a man guy though, but
Mhm.
still, you still like the idea that he could every once in a while.
Yeah,
But even in zone, he's like the speed I think he's used to getting to a spot is just not there.
yeah. I think that's what's getting the teams are just throwing all over them, and they're just like if they're throwing the ball, they can pretty much do whatever they want.
Exactly. And their absolutely destroyed O line is not gonna.
Yeah.
I mean, Matt Stafford's gonna get hurt.
Mhm.
Again, like, please.
Yeah.
Having Matt Stafford in the league playing just makes everything so much better.
Yeah, I'm counting 6 offensive linemen on IR for them.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Jesus Christ. Like I said, like it's the league's better with Matt Stafford playing his heart out, and
Yeah,
we need him to keep that up. Like you don't
Yeah.
beat the 49ers without Matt Stafford. I don't think you don't put many QBs in that same situation and beat the 49ers that game.
100% agree. Except for Stetson Bennett. He could have
Yeah, he could do it. Yeah.
His veteran leadership could have got him through.
I think he's older than Matt.
Leadership.
Is he older than Stafford, right?
He actually might be.
Dude, I'm pretty sure he's collecting Social Security. I just
But yeah, Matt Stafford has been pretty impressive, especially with like just the little amount of weapons he has, and because their whole offense or wide receiver room is also injured. So
not Jordan Whittington.
Hey, yeah. Wait, watch out for him. Watch him blow up the next 2 weeks.
I just don't even know what to say about it. I really
get ready
don't.
for it. Get ready to
I
complain
really
some
don't know what
more.
to say.
They keep getting away with it.
My least favorite wide receiver to watch in the draft blows up, and I'm like,
I can't believe he's your least favorite.
I just didn't like what he did. Honestly, like when
You're
I
like-
watched him on Texas, I just was like, just goes against everything I like.
So funny.
Poor guy. Can all be wrong. Can all be wrong.
Anything else about the Rams?
Don't got much to say, honestly, other than
They're hurt.
just the rookies on that defense, man, are playing well.
Yeah, they are. Jared Verse is a beast.
yes, he is.
He's amazing. He's even better than I thought he was going to be.
I thought when we did our draft talks, I think we said he was our number one guy, but out of the 3, probably will take the most to develop.
We were so wrong.
Oh man.
I mean, I think that
Yeah,
just
right off the
shows
bat.
coaching. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. Like it's cool. Yeah, we were right. He's the number one guy. He's looking like the number one guy. What the context was is definitely different than how we expected. Anyway, number 21, the Arizona Cardinals.
Hey, that's exactly where I put him.
That's it. That's where you put him. You were the middle though. Number 12 is where the Bear put him,
Whoa.
and I put him at 26.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how to rank them, to be honest. I thought they looked really good at times. I think the offense looks pretty damn good at times.
I agree.
The defense is rough. I mean, but
Mhm.
man, the offense looks playoff bound. I think Kyler's playing pretty well, and I think Marvin Harrison's only getting better every week. I think the run game is absolutely getting better week by week.
I think I have good side choices to use with not Parker Washington, Michael Wilson. And Greg Dortch plays well.
Yeah, Dortch looks pretty good as well.
And they're going to get what's his face back this week, the tight end, Trey McBride.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I don't think every week too you're not going to be playing the run defenses that you've been playing recently.
No, they've been playing a lot of good teams.
Yeah. Like I think they're better than the record shows. Like the difference for me from 21 to like 8 are like 2 points.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, I
kind
can
of
see
crazy.
that.
It's
Yeah.
I mean that's how close everything is.
But
Yeah.
I mean, Kyler Murray and Marvin Harrison together, they're just electric to watch.
Yeah, it's like everyone was so concerned after week 1 how he just didn't even look his way pretty much.
Mhm.
And then boom.
Yeah,
It only took us 1 quarter.
Like I said, man, I think this offense looks really good. But I mean the defense is really their Achilles heel right now. I mean there's just too many changes that need to be made, but man, it's hard to ignore how good the offense has played.
Like it's
And-
crazy how well the coaching keeps them playing hard too.
Yeah,
Even though
I think
their
that's what it
roster's
is.
so bad.
Yeah, because their defense does play hard. Like when
Yeah.
the few games I did watch, I mean, their defense plays hard, and it looks like they're having fun out there. But I think it's just the lack of talent that's holding them back.
If they can keep building up this roster the way they have been, I mean, I think maybe in a year or two they could be a really serious team in the NFC. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean they got a good offensive foundation, I think.
Yeah.
You got a solid left tackle. Like your offensive line isn't going to kill you every week this like the way it used to in the past as well. Yeah, I think they're going to be as their schedule probably lighten up, they might look more favorable in this. So totally could be like number 13 in like 4 weeks.
Yeah.
But all right, number 20 is the Dallas Cowboys. The crazy part is, I can't believe how I'm the lowest ranked on them.
Really?
I had them at 20,
I had them at 19.
which I don't even think they're that bad. Like,
Yeah, I don't think they're that bad. I have
Like
them 14.
yeah, like their offensive like core, I think is good. It's the run defense that completely tanks them. If they can't run defend,
Yeah.
they're not going to be able to do anything this season.
Yeah, which
They
they
have
played
some-
New Orleans and Baltimore, who have a really good run game as well, and those are those 2 losses. But
I mean, they're going to start losing some pretty key pieces. I mean, Lawrence just went on IR, and Micah's dealing with something right now. I mean, they're saying he's not even putting weight on his foot.
Yeah, he's going to be out a couple weeks.
Yeah, Cooks, I heard, is going to be out for the game on Sunday already. So, I mean, who else do
Yes,
they
he will be.
have as far as like wide receivers?
I mean, Jake Ferguson is a good piece.
Yeah.
They still have Luke Shoemaker. I think what they'll probably do is go into 12 personnel more. They'll have to adjust the way. And he's been playing a little bit extra since Ferguson got hurt that 1 or 2 games.
It's just their run game doesn't look great either. So it's just
well, yeah, that
Lot of-
Rico
lot of
Dotto and
bad-
Zeke. I didn't think they were going to be doing a lot of running anyway, but
well, I mean, you got to be 2-dimensional. You have to.
yeah,
So yeah, I mean,
I think at first their offensive line was a little underperforming too, but it looks like they're starting to catch their stride a little bit more as the weeks have been going on.
yeah, I think Dak's going to keep him in games.
oh, Dak looks great.
Yeah, Dak has looked great, and I don't know, this whole center of the NFL right now is so interchangeable. It's,
Yeah,
I know.
absolutely. I mean,
I have no idea what most of the teams are going to do next week.
I know. We're gonna look like fucking idiots.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it is very early in the year, so yeah. I mean, that's very easy to do.
And I think, I mean, their division.
They'll eat themselves like usual.
Yeah.
I think if they can like the defense has been a problem, but if they can figure out at least how to stop the run, like they got pieces to kind of help out. I mean, obviously Michael Parsons and DeMarcus Lawrence being gone is not going to help that situation. I mean, Michael Parsons wasn't much of a run defender anyway.
But he's your
But
best player on the defense.
exactly. Like you're gonna sacrifice. Maybe you do better on run defense, but now all of a sudden you can't pass rush. Damn it, can't win either way.
Knowing him, I'm kind of wondering because like he's in a contract year, right?
He was drafted in 21, so his last year's 25.
So he's got 1 more year. As I say, I'm like, I wonder if he would do some financial moves, just not play.
No,
But if he's got 1 more
Nah.
year,
No,
Yeah.
he's going to play.
it's just
I think-
he's got to be salty seeing those two getting paid. Like
Well,
I think the rating's on the wall.
I think he sees himself as a position to chase history too. Like he wants to be the best defensive player of all time. Like he has that mentality.
Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah.
I know.
He's-
Whether he
he-
does is up to, but
Yeah. If he can play, he's going to play. I don't. He's a dog. So I don't think like a contract will let him sit out, or make him sit out. But who knows? We still got another year for that.
He's done things in college similar to that, so I never know with him.
yeah.
Yeah.
There's just my big concerns. Like they could look terrible in these next 4 weeks as well, just because of it. Like
Yeah, I could see it.
there's losses. Like those are huge losses. Especially if, like you said, Brandon Cooks is gone. They're going to be using Jalen Tolbert and Cavante Turbin, maybe.
How has
Brendan-
Tolbert been playing?
It's all right. solid. I think he's a 3. I'm guessing they'll probably do better. I think they're going to go switch into 2 tight end and
Yeah,
then
makes sense.
and just road grade with their offense line. I think that's probably what they're going to try to do.
I mean, their offensive line is young. I mean, there's a lot of room for improvement, but I mean
2 rookies are starting.
yeah, I mean, and 2 that were pretty highly graded.
True.
Their O-line didn't look terrible on tape. I really think they're missing a running back. I mean, the fact that Zeke even sees the field is interesting.
Yeah, they have Dalvin Cook on their practice squad. They're not using him.
Wow.
Yeah.
Which just
Yeah,
shows like how
I mean,
far
that
along he
tells
is.
you what he is. It's
Exactly.
so sad,
Yeah,
honestly.
he's on the same boat as Zeke.
Yeah. Why have one Zeke when you have 2 Zekes on the team?
Yeah, exactly.
It hurts so bad for us to say that, to put those 2 in the same category right now. I don't know. It's a shame. That's why we need to pay running backs.
No.
Yeah, no. I'm good.
Dangerous job. You pay the guys who do the dangerous work more.
All right, so I'll pay wide receivers, and then I'll pay.
I mean, we are paying wide receivers. That's why we're not talking about them.
All right, keeping the ball rolling. We have number 19.
I
Yeah,
know who's in your pocket.
Indianapolis Colts.
They look pretty damn good. I actually think they look way better than I thought.
Yeah, I mean
that D line when the Steelers went in to play them, I was like, oh, we're gonna beat them down bad. And it was like, I don't know, like Thursday or Friday before the game, and I'm like thinking about it, I'm like, man, I'm starting to watch some of the old games, and I'm like, I don't know, man, that D line looks pretty good. The offensive line's playing very good.
Yeah, I mean, I think they got a bad rap from their first 2 weeks when they were just getting absolutely decimated on the ground, kind of like how the Cowboys were.
I mean, they stayed in there with the Texans. I don't remember, what was the score of the Packers game?
16-10.
So it was a close game.
Yeah.
Didn't feel like it though.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, Richardson is learning, but man, he walked down the field on the Steelers. I was livid on that. I was like, what the hell did they just do? We just stopped J.K. Dobbins the week before, and he's been playing very, very well. I expected way better play.
We all have to remember too. This is probably his 8th NFL game, like start.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think accuracy is going to get better over time. I think his completion percentages will get better because I think he'll learn how to throw within at least the zip code of his receivers. But
I think we also forget how bad the accuracy was of Josh Allen.
Oh yeah.
I mean, like there's so many situations we can look at. He's so young yet. He's such a freak, man. I look at him and I'm like, man, you should be like an edge rusher. You would be like the best edge rusher in the league.
God.
Like you are so
putting players out of the position.
You would be amazing.
But he's just like the size, man. I mean, it's like he's such a massive human being.
His explosiveness off the line, let me tell you.
I wonder how he rips. It's like for 1 week you get to be a scout for the Steelers. What do you want to do? I want to see this quarterback do a rip move. What?
Like I know everyone makes fun of like Caleb for learning to slide like first thing, but he needs to learn how to fucking slide. Like this should be one of the first things he needs to do because
he's not afraid to slide because he's like a man playing with kids.
And how many times is he getting hurt when he's doing
exactly.
it? Like he's getting the guy doesn't know how to like I respect the mentality of like this play's not dead until someone forces me on the ground. And like I respect the hell out of it, and then he gets fucking hurt. Like I'm like,
I'm still to this moment questioning why the hell you would have him do a run play, his first play back in the game from just getting whacked. Like what was that? I think
Steichen outplayed himself on that because you bring him back out, everyone's like, well, he just got popped, so he's definitely not going to run this time. And he's
And he
probably thinking
shouldn't.
that's what, and he's thinking there's like, this is totally what the defense thinks. He thinks they're not going to.
Because
Well, I'll show them.
common sense.
Is like, no.
Don't destroy your quarterback.
And then Flacco comes in and does a pretty good job himself.
I mean, especially when they have like a good offensive line and they got two running backs who can get the job done. I just they don't need to do it. It'd be one thing if the talent wasn't there. But I mean their talent is pretty good. I just don't just the risk is not worth the reward. But man, Flacco looked good. I hate
Also-
saying that.
Yeah, I'm also going to call out Nick Cross leading the
Yeah, man.
tackles.
Is that a good thing?
I mean, he looks good. He
Like,
absolutely looks
I'm
good.
glad he's wrapping up. That's a plus. But if you're still leader in tackles, that's not a good thing.
I mean, I don't know. He's not like a coverage, like he's not a specialty coverage safety. I mean,
Yeah, but if you're the line or getting to the secondary like that many times that he has to make a tackle.
that's not his
Oh.
fault.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's the negative part I'm trying to.
Okay.
bring
I
up.
thought you
It's
were
not-
saying it's his fault.
Yeah, no, it's not his fault at all. No, the fact that he's making all those tackles is a good thing.
Yeah.
Like you're the last line defense, and you're saving would-be touchdowns by making tackles.
And I mean, he's making good tackles. He's making good lines to the ball. I mean, he's doing everything he needs to do. Like,
Yeah. No,
I'm
not shitting on
really
him at
happy
all.
for him. He was definitely a sweetheart of mine.
Looks
to
like
the draft.
their two linebackers also have a lot of tackles. EJ Speed has
speed.
yeah, Speed has
crazy, man.
47 as well as Nick Cross, and Zaire Franklin's 41.
They
So that's
don't
the Zaire Franklin special.
Yeah,
Franklin's going to get tackled all the time too.
yeah.
I love EJ though.
They also got
He's
a
awesome.
lineman. I mean, obviously, Liatu Letu looks really good. He's definitely put on some weight, and
Haha.
he's able to take the strength.
Uh,
But
I heard that.
yeah, hey, he improved his weakness that was obvious in college. I got to give him respect there. I mean, he definitely is working on what his weaknesses are. That's good. I'm glad to see it. But also, I mean, who's that defensive lineman? Was it Grover?
Grover Store.
90. Oh my god, man, he looks good too. I think this team looks pretty good, man. A lot better than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, their O line's playing great too.
And dude, Pittman and Downs, and Mitchell's gonna get up there too. I have no doubts.
Yeah, I hope Jonathan Taylor's not out for too long too, because I don't how well this is going to go without him, especially if you're not going to be having Richardson.
Yeah,
So we'll see how this ends up turning out long term. But I mean, when he was on the field, Jonathan Taylor's been kicking ass as well.
absolutely.
God,
He's very good. Still.
he's still good.
So weird.
I don't want to pay him though.
Is Jerry Jones paying you? Who's paying? Who is it?
No, you
Which
can't.
owner?
No, you can't say that because Jerry Jones paid Zeke.
That's
I mean,
actually
yeah.
true. Yeah. Okay.
I'm worse than Jerry.
Is it Art Rooney? It's got to be Art Rooney. Absolutely has to be.
All right. Number 18, Cincinnati Bengals. Oh, the Cincinnati Bengals.
They always are terrible in the beginning of the year.
Yeah. At least their offense isn't finally kicked on.
Yeah, that's starting to get there.
That's
I just, oof.
that's the only thing that really kept them from like completely tanking my ranking.
Yeah.
I have the highest ranked on them at 14. Moose is the lowest at 20.
And I love this team. Like, I can't even lie. I mean, I like a lot of those players. I just don't get it. You lose to the Patriots and then keep it tight with the Chiefs and almost win the game. And then
Yes.
you go against the Commanders and then you lose to them. And I'm like, I could not come to a realization during week 3. Was it the Commanders are good or the Bengals are that bad?
Well, their
And-
defense is that bad. That's one thing.
Yeah,
we
their
do know.
Yeah, people
Yeah,
are
their
walking
defense is
all
bad.
over them. I mean,
But
the
they-
Panthers even, man. Like, they should not be playing that bad against the Panthers.
They have a lot of their D line hurt, especially during the Commanders game. On top of it, So like, Miles Murphy's not playing. Cam Sample is not playing. Sheldon Rankins wasn't playing. BJ Hill wasn't playing.
They're
Trey
missing.
Trey Hendrickson got hurt.
Well, I bet he's really rushing to come back. I mean,
Yeah, and Sam Hubbard might as well be hurt by how he's playing.
yeah, he definitely looks like he's lost a step. I mean, he's a good player.
But I mean, I love the rest of the team. Like, I mean, I love the whole team. Like that's why I'm not tanking there.
Yeah, same.
Down to 20s, just or like
No, I put him 20, but
just because I almost had him like even top 10 initially, or outright at 10. I just had to review some of the grading, but
I mean, I think the potential is there, but
yeah,
I think in 4 weeks they're going to skyrocket probably on my power rankings. But
yeah, I like how they're utilizing the tight ends too, just so it's like not putting too much pressure on all the, like it's not just Burrow and 2 wide receivers anymore.
yeah.
Like they're utilizing these tight ends, like Mike Gesicki's having games, Eric All's having games, Tanner Hudson's even having some games,
and I mean
Andrei Iosivas as well. Like, I don't want Iosivas to be a focus point of the offense.
No,
but I want him to make plays when they need him to, though, and he can do that.
I mean, taking a quick look at the schedule for them. I mean, they got the Ravens this week, so it's going to be a tough game. But I mean, after that, they got the Giants, the Browns, the Eagles. They got the Raiders coming up. I mean, and towards the end of the year, they're playing a lot of easy teams.
Yeah, they could surge right into the playoffs and be a team that no one wants to play. Yeah. But shout out to this though. They have, I think, stat wise, one of the top 3 or 5 offensive lines.
Wow.
In pass protection specifically.
I mean,
run game is hit or miss, but their pass pro, I mean, they invested in it and it looks like it's paying dividends. In fact, the funny part was, so Marius Mims is playing now, right?
Yeah.
He's the worst part of that offensive line right now.
He is struggling.
So I'm impressed with that. Like, I'm glad they finally have some, like, at least a line to keep Burrow healthy. And they do that. Their defense I do believe in their defensive coordinator, Lou Alrumo, to fix things. So I think they'll surge back and probably be a top 10 team. In fact, I'm kind of regretting even being them at 14 right now.
I mean, based on how they play,
this is this week's power.
Yeah, I know, but
this is one of the teams that could drastically spike.
Yeah, I think they will. I'd almost bet on it that they will.
Yeah, I would too. All right, number 17. We got the New York Jets.
I kind of feel the opposite about this team.
Oh, you think they're going downhill?
Yeah. I feel like they could. I feel like they could nosedive.
Yeah.
I just like, and it doesn't make any sense to me because, I mean, I had them in my top 10 going into the year. I do think the roster is really good. I don't hate Saleh. I mean, I think, I don't think the coaching's bad. They fell flat on their face again.
Yeah, I think it's Rodgers.
I think it is too.
I think it's Rodgers, and it's not even on the field, like playing wise. I think it's just his personality.
That was actually good. So for the Broncos game, I'm going to kind of give them a pass just because that game was a fucking downpour, and every good play they had was called back on penalties.
Yeah.
How about the Titans?
What? When they played the Titans?
Yeah.
Yeah, they played pretty well against the Titans overall.
I mean, a team that basically gave them the win.
I mean, they
handed it right to them, just tossed it.
Yeah, but that's
you get a win. You get a win.
So that's like they faced 3 really good defenses: 49ers, Titans, and the Broncos, and even the Patriots, who are not bad. They wrecked the Patriots though that game.
They did wreck the Patriots, but the Patriots are pretty wrecked all on their own.
Right. And if the Jets have a defense that's going to keep them in games, I think 7 times out of 10, like Aaron Rodgers will probably pull that win out as long as the defense is playing the way it does. But
I mean, I got to be honest, I don't put much weight on that Patriots game with a rookie coach, I mean, with a first year head coach and a roster that is just mangled.
Yeah, you can say that about those last 3 games. The test is gonna come up these next couple of weeks.
I think they
So
play
we'll
the Steelers next week.
Nope, they play the Vikings.
Oof, yikes.
Yeah, they play the Vikings and then Buffalo and then the Steelers.
Oh man. Poor guys.
So we'll see how like you said, they could literally be tanking in this thing based off these next 3 weeks, 3 to 4 weeks. So
Do you think Rodgers retires? If it ends up happening?
I don't know. He's so full of himself. I can't stand him anymore.
I think he'll probably
I don't know when he
not
would.
until he comes away with a winning season. You gotta come out on top.
I just
Yeah,
think
that's
with
probably
the
what
weapons,
that's probably what he's thinking, at least.
I just think with these weapons, you should be.
Yeah. The weird part is I don't sense a lot of chemistry between him and Garrett Wilson.
I don't either.
That's why I'm like, if they get Devontae Adams, I think
I've been thinking this.
they fly up this ranking.
Oh well,
The chemistry between them two is insane. He has insane chemistry with him and Alan Lazard, who's like
Yeah.
a quarter of the
terrible.
receiver Devontae Adams is.
he doesn't even look good. That's the thing I think that annoys me the most. It's like, oh, I gotta give it to Lazard.
Yeah, that's
Like,
that's
what have
Aaron
these guys
Rodgers.
done for him? Like, I'm kind of scared. Like, what are these wide receivers doing for him? That he sticks with these guys.
I think it's just that like the guys that he likes and wants on his team, well, other than Devontae Adams,
Well,
the-
that
the-
one I understand.
but the guys, these other guys, I mean, they'll just listen to Rodgers whatever he tells them, because they're kind of like Alan Lazard. He's not anybody without Rodgers. So
Right. Yeah, sure. Okay, boss.
Your ayahuasca.
yeah, exactly.
I run down this way. Okay, boss.
Yeah, exactly.
Garrett Wilson's not afraid to give him lips, so maybe he also doesn't like that.
Yeah,
So-
that's probably what it is.
I mean, I don't know. I think Garrett Wilson has earned his keep. So
Yeah, definitely. I agree with you 100%.
I
Yeah.
just like, you don't like it. That's your own problem, buddy. He's here for the long haul. At least I
He's-
hope.
Aaron Rodgers is like, do you even know who the fuck I am?
So crazy thought. They do get Devontae Adams. With the way things are going between Rodgers and Garrett Wilson, would it be crazy to think they could trade him?
You'd probably
Like,
be part of the package for Devontae Adams, but
Ooh.
I just feel like the
Wow, I didn't
value
even
of the
think of that.
player is insanely high.
I don't think the Jets would do that though. Because if they're trading for Devontae Adams,
I
they're
don't know,
doing it
man.
because they think they're going to win a Super Bowl this year or
Of-
get in the playoffs. So
Well, they could look at it as, well, we're trading a number one for a number one. And of any team, as crazy as it sounds, of the franchises, in the NFL, the ones that do the crazier stuff, Jets are up there. I mean, Jets are one of the worst when it comes to this type of thing.
how about what if they just trade a problem for a problem? Devontae Adams and Hassan Reddick.
I don't think anything's going to happen with Hassan. I honestly, I don't think
It's like, fine, you don't want to play? Fine, you go to the Raiders now.
Sancho could just come back to the Eagles.
And Bryce Huff go back to the Jets.
Yeah, please.
No, we need him. We need him right now. Highsmith's out.
You could take Huff.
No, I don't want Huff. I've seen enough of him already.
All right. Let's go on to number 16, the LA Chargers.
Hey.
So we
they're
got
better than I thought.
ranked number 11 for the Bear,
Yeah.
16 for the Moose, and 22 for the Otter.
I think they're
Yeah.
playing well. Honestly, I think they're building a decent team. And I don't like Harbaugh. I don't like saying this stuff, but what I've seen so far, I mean, I can't hate on it. Honestly,
I mean,
They-
he's going to play the brand of football that every Smash Mouth lover likes,
Yeah.
You might hate the guy, but you definitely don't hate the game.
no, I like the game. Honestly, and I'm so happy for J.K. Dobbins right now, man.
Yeah, he's having his resurgence year, which who would have thought after tearing his ACL like 2 or 3 times at this point?
Apparently, even I wouldn't have thought, man. I've been drafting him every year in fantasy, except this year. I'm like, nah, he's burned me too many years. Can't do it anymore. and then he blows up. I'm like, you know what? I gotta stop playing fantasy. I gotta stop. Put my heart too much into it.
I think that the biggest thing that's hurting them is Justin Herbert playing through the injury. They should have just sat him
Yeah.
that week. What was it? Not this past week, the week prior against
Yeah.
Pittsburgh. Yeah, they should have sat him against Pittsburgh and just let his ankle heal a little bit because it's obviously affecting him.
Yeah, it's not like you guys were going to win a lot of games this year anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
And I mean, McConkey's playing well, and I think Quentin Johnston's actually looking pretty good. The offensive line looks pretty good.
Their defense is playing a lot better than what I thought.
Oh, they're playing with heart. That's for sure.
Yeah,
definitely.
With some attitude, like, and I love to see that. I think
It's
that's
hard
why
though.
I think that's why they kept, like, so when they were looking for like release packages, like, were they going to release the 2 D linemen or were they going to release,
Oh, everybody thought Bosa.
the wide receivers and stuff? Like, they chose the wide receivers because no, we're not a throwing team, we're a running team and a defensive team. So we're going to keep those 2 guys on defense. And I mean, I love what they did. I mean, I think it was a good decision.
Yeah, everybody, going into free agency this year was like, oh, they're gonna do something with Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa, and it was like those 2 weren't touched. Like I was shocked.
And when they're actually healthy and playing, they're playing pretty well still.
And I think
Even
they're
with
building
how old they
smart.
are. Yeah.
With what they got, I mean, I think they've done a good job.
They got Taylor Heineke now, right? So they traded for him, so he can come in and play a couple 2 or 3 games till Justin Herbert gets better. I think he's still going to keep playing though, isn't he? Herbert.
Yeah, Herbert is going to keep playing. That's why I said you should have sat him 2 weeks ago.
God, who left the soul of Phillip Rivers in him?
Hey, he's always been the guy that plays through everything, but
True.
I didn't understand playing against the Steelers, especially with their really good pass rush and all that. Like it just made no sense.
Yeah, I think they just trusted their O-line, which I understand. Like, you got Rashawn Slater and your rookie Joe Alt playing well, and even Zion Johnson. But even though their interior hasn't been playing up to that standard.
I mean, Slater's okay. He's pretty decent too.
Oh yeah, I actually love Slater. Actually, I think he's their best tackle right now, or their best O-lineman.
Apparently he's injured too.
Oh my god, everyone's fucking injured. Goddamn Chargers for you.
Yep.
Happens every year.
Though I think I feel like Quentin Johnston's like showing fool's gold though. Like,
yeah, I agree.
Like, I think it's nice that he's getting these contested catches, but I'm not seeing like much improvement on his separation really.
Yeah.
I mean, compared to what we saw last year, man, I think it's night and day better.
Yeah, I mean,
last year
5 more points than 0 is way better.
They also had a lot more options last year than Quentin Johnson.
That's true. They didn't need to rely on him.
Yeah, but Mike Williams and Allen were both hurt a lot.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, they were.
So, like, yeah, you can say that, but I mean, they really weren't playing that much.
But Ladd McConkey's their number 1. But well, Ladd McConkey, like, it shows, like, Ladd McConkey's their superior separator, and that's why he's getting most of the targets so far. Yep. Even over like a 4-year player like Joshua Palmer. We thought like maybe he would become the guy if Quentin Johnston didn't work out.
I didn't have a lot of faith.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people had a lot of faith, but
hey, and
you got to work with what you got.
Brendan Rice is in the rotation, so
yeah,
we'll see if that comes to anything. Doubt it, but
try to be nice.
Let's go on to number 15, the New Orleans Saints.
Oh my god,
we did this week too.
Yeah,
stop the count.
I would still say there's fool's gold.
I probably would have agreed with you.
Yeah,
but I definitely would have ranked them higher than 15. Like, they wouldn't. I don't think they would have been top 10 for me. Maybe they would have. Everyone was playing really fucking weird that first week.
Yeah, exactly.
Those first 2 weeks.
I mean, their D line's looking good, and the run game hasn't been bad. I mean, they're throwing the ball downfield a lot. I have just such a hard time evaluating them compared to other teams in the league because there's been so much play of I don't know if they're going to be able to repeat what they just did.
Yeah, I mean,
that's just what's tough for me. Like, I don't just want to be a hater.
Yeah, that's another team has had off and on injuries with a bunch of their players as well.
I mean,
I think
especially
there's
with their center got hurt was a big blow to their O line. Like I think that was probably the biggest thing for their run game, and
Yeah.
they wanna go through the run game first before they use Derek Carr.
Mhm.
But now they might have to try be more balanced both ways. So it's like from what I've seen, like the first week of Chris Olave, like it was the Rashid Shaheed show, and then starring or with the little side piece of Chris Olave.
Yeah.
But now it's all Chris Olave. Like he's their one. He's their main.
Yeah,
Like
definitely.
he's getting everything. Everything's gonna revolve around him and Kamara, and then everyone else has to. He's gonna take away so Rashid Shaheed could eat later. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the only balls that Shaheed are going to get are like the deep balls when the other defense isn't expecting it because they're covering Olave or Kamara or whoever else. But,
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean they're not they're not double covering him
Yeah.
most of the time. I mean it's just he's getting what comes his way when nobody's looking. I mean that's
Exactly. And he's fast as shit. So
oh absolutely.
he gets away from him after he gets the ball. So
I mean when you were saying about like Olave versus Shaheed, a competition. I never thought there was a competition. Not even close.
Yeah.
I just think Olave is that talented.
I think they complement each other.
Yeah,
Olave and
no,
Shaheed.
and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
But
Because
I just when I
Olave
think
will
of
always find the
competition,
open.
there's no
I don't
question.
think there. Yeah, I don't think there really was.
I
Yeah,
wanna sorry, go ahead.
yeah. Olave just finds the open spots like in between the zones for Carr, and then Shaheed will just blow the top off. So I think they're a good complement with each other. So
Yeah, I think they're gonna have some explosive weeks coming up again. I think they just had tough matchups for their play style.
yeah, definitely.
Those last couple weeks. But I do want to shout out Carl Granderson. I didn't think he'd be as blowing shit up as much as he was again. Like last year, he was doing a really good job, and he's looking even better. Like Brian Bressees really coming through as
Yes,
well.
he is.
And Chase Young is everyone has been giving him shit. Like he's still a good player.
He is, man.
Yeah.
I think he looks pretty good. I was very impressed with what I've seen.
And their corners are no slouches. Like
Oh,
I love all of their corners, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, exactly.
The linebackers aren't playing as good as I'm used to.
well, Davis
But
is
I'm
hurt
sure
right
they'll.
now.
Yeah, and Pete Warner
And Willie Gay.
is he?
Oh
man.
yeah, I forgot about him. Sorry.
So we'll see. I mean, I'm sure they'll turn it around though. Like they're too good to play it like that all the time. I'm excited for their defense. I think the defense is good enough that the Saints will, like their offense will be able to pull things out more often than they won't. So
Yeah, and their offense. If you stop their run game, it's kind of hard for them to do anything. But
as the Eagles have showed. All right, number 14, the Washington Commanders. Man, what a
Didn't-
fun team to watch.
Did not think we'd be here.
not
Not even
Absolutely
close.
not.
If you told me at the beginning of the season we'd be here, I'd be like, yeah, okay, buddy. All right.
And the thing is, they haven't even played like bad teams other than New York. But
No, I mean
they play Tampa Bay, Cincinnati, and Arizona. So
the offense looks pretty good.
yes, it does.
And I'm shocked about the offensive line, but I just think it's because the defense just doesn't know what to do because they've been so dynamic between the passing game and the run game as they go on. They've gotten better every week on
Yeah.
the offense.
Oh yeah.
I just need Jaden Daniels to slide more so he doesn't get fucking hurt.
Oh yeah. Well, that there's so much of that on his college tape.
Yeah,
I'm just
We're
gonna
like,
start
yep.
a QB school for sliding.
I'm just very impressed with, like, out of all the rookies right now that I thought were going to be playing it safe, I did not think it was going to be Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, exactly.
And he does not make silly mistakes. He plays like a fucking 10-year vet sometimes.
Yeah,
I thought he was gonna need a lot more work coming in the league, and he has looked really good.
like
Like,
he's
I
only
wanna-
thrown one interception, which is crazy.
has-
With how many interceptions are going on?
So he has the highest completion percentage for a QB in 4 games
Yeah,
in history. Within 4, not within his first 4 games,
yeah, I saw that.
in any 4-game stretch.
And it's not
Yes.
like it's not even like he has the talent around him like Caleb Williams has. Like, I mean, he's got McLaurin and he's great, but like Diami Brown versus like Allen or even a Dunze, Yeah, I don't really think they got that. I mean, who's their tight end right now?
Zach Ertz.
I'm gonna leave it there.
He's making
But
a comeback.
Hey, well,
yeah,
they have Noah Brown, and who's been solid for the Texans a couple like whenever he was called up, and I think what they're doing is they're putting it all through their running backs though. Like,
Yeah.
it's the running backs and McLaurin.
yeah.
Brian Robinson looks fantastic.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
and
that's-
even Eckler, man. I mean, I know he just got injured, but man, he was playing well.
Hmm. And their D
Definitely-
line's no slouch.
No. Well, I mean, they usually aren't. Secondary still worries me
Yeah,
heavily.
it's so weird to see Bobby Wagner in their uniform though,
Yeah, this
always forget. And he's still like what, top 3 in tackles in the NFL. Like,
Yeah.
where is he still up there? It's insane.
Yeah, he has 38 tackles.
What's that on the list?
I mean, I know three of the Colts are up there, like 1, 2, and 3.
That's awesome.
With like 46 or something like that. So he might be top 10, but
He's 10th in solo
Yeah, okay.
tackles.
That's still crazy for a linebacker his age.
And he has a sack, 14 stops. Wow.
yeah, I think I think a lot of why they brought him there and what he's doing is a leadership and veteran role of
Yeah,
the
they need
defense.
someone like him.
Yeah, and I
True.
think he's doing it great. So because their defense plays hard with that much talent other than the D line.
Yeah, I really like what they're doing. I think they're gonna fall down to earth a little bit. I think teams will eventually figure out what they're doing on offense. We'll see if that comes true. I'm just pumping the brakes a little bit on the hype.
Yeah, I understand.
I think I kind of feared this team, man. I'm like when I was watching them against the Bengals, man, I was like, oh man, are they gonna torch us?
I mean, it's the Bengals defense. Your defense is way better.
It's just the way they're beating teams, man. It's like you can kind of tell what's coming your direction. They just nobody was stopping it. And they're not really changing the game plan up that much from like within the games. I mean, it's insane.
Yeah, I mean, they've been a treat to watch. Like, even if we don't have him like as our top 10 guy, except for Moose has him at number 9.
Yeah.
They've been one of the most fun teams to watch.
Yeah, exactly. I really like watching them. They're so much fun. And they're just Brian Robinson is amazing.
Yeah.
I'm secretly like in love with him.
Secretly,
and-
pretty open now.
Well, yeah, now, but I've been hiding it.
He just goes to like the Eagles Commanders game with his jersey on. No, guys, I'm an Eagles fan. What?
I'm not like you, Bear, with the Ravens.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, it's such a fun team, and it's as of right now they look. I don't know when to say unstoppable, but they've been looking really, really good.
They're scary.
So, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think if their O line is just playing out of their minds right now, so it's like that definitely helps.
And their schedule doesn't look like too tough, other than like the Ravens in 2 weeks, and
That'll be a game. That would be a game.
That'll be a fun
yeah, exactly. Yeah, they play the Browns this week, and then the Ravens, and then like the Panthers and the Bears. So like,
There's 3 good defense. This will be a good test. 3 good defenses coming up.
Side note though, just before we end on them, the end of that schedule is the Saints, the Eagles, the Falcons, and then the Cowboys.
Yeah.
That could be a tough end.
Could be, or an easy end.
Yeah, exactly.
We just don't know.
It's so hard to know right now, man. Like,
But yeah, number 13, the Atlanta Falcons. The highest ranked person was the Bear at number 6.
yeah, I had to guess based on
15 and 16 for the rest of us.
kind of shocked.
They're still playing sloppy. They're playing complimentary though, which I like. They still have players that are kind of hurt. Like, I don't know what Bijan's at right now. I think he still might play.
I mean, they've been
Yeah, I think he's fine.
they've been in every game this season, and they haven't played really a bad team yet. I mean, they're playing the Bucks tonight, and they could easily win that game.
True. Think if I'm
There's-
choosing any of the teams above them, I would pick them as
Yeah.
favorites.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know, man. I think Kurt is looking better every week. I think the defense is getting better. I really do think I think they're easily a top 10 team. Easily. I think they're real too. I mean, there's some teams that are playing really well right now where it's like, well, it's hard to tell how good you really are, but I really do believe in the Falcons.
But they're 2-2 though. With all that saying, I don't know. There's something off about them. They don't seem like they have everything together yet. They have a lot of talent, which I think is what's keeping them in games. But there's just something off about them that they should be better than what they're playing like.
I mean,
they don't have a confidence factor about them. I don't.
Maybe that's it.
Well, I mean, they've been bad for how long? You know what I mean? That doesn't build overnight.
Well, yeah, but it feels like the Commanders kind of did. Like,
but how rare is that?
I know. I'm just saying.
I mean, out of the 32 teams, they're the only team we're saying that about. Like, that has come from being a bad team and is now looking really good. I mean, who else would we say is in that category? Well, I guess there's one other team. But I mean, it's pretty rare. And I do really feel like they are like the talent is absolutely real on that team.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I think they're talented, but I just don't think they have everything together yet.
Yeah.
We'll find out.
So,
It like I said, it's not really just it's not them, it's just more of everyone else above them for me that's still keeping them, at least on my list, why they're higher. Yeah. They're just playing. If I had to choose a bet on if they're going to win or not, it's going to be all these teams up above them.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, Atlanta's going to play them close, and I think they would steal like half the games anyway. So that's why I feel like they're in a similar tiers as the team above. But like you said, they have all the talent, and I think they play very complementary football, which I think is important, especially as the team kind of gets their identity together.
I just feel like they're solid at every position group. Like, maybe not elite, but solid. Like, I don't look at any position group on this team and I'm like, ugh, this is not good. Like, I think everything looks pretty good.
Yeah,
maybe not great, but good.
They invested to win this year, so
I think they could.
They could. That is definitely a possibility.
And I say that without any hesitation.
Yeah,
I really do think they're that good.
Yeah, I completely agree. As like you said, I mean, as I think probably by halfway through the year, Cousins getting his motion rhythm back, that everyone figures out where the chemistry is with his weapons. Like it's gonna like it looks like him and Drake London and Darnell Mooney are clicking faster each week.
Yeah, he loves himself some Darnell Mooney.
Oh, I mean, I don't blame him.
I love myself some Darnell Mooney.
But the offensive line is going to get back to normal. I know their center's out, their main center. The problem they were having is that their pass protection was pretty bad to start. But
I mean, they were playing against the Steelers. I mean, it
was week 1.
Yeah,
so I get
but
that.
I still think they're a good O-line.
Yeah, I think in the run game they're monstrous.
Which I think they need to run more than what they are. But
I agree.
Bijan's hurt right now, so they're limiting his snaps.
No, but Tyler Algier could be a perfectly fine sub.
Yeah, I think he's good. He's good enough.
And Kirk's rise in the what do they call it? God, my brain doesn't work at this time.
Are you thinking about play action?
Yeah, play action.
Yeah.
Yes, he's great at play action, and I think they utilize the run game. It'll protect their O line.
Yeah, exactly.
They'll get it. So I think probably this time in 4 more games, they'll probably be in the top 10 for me. But we'll see. They're playing pretty soon. So again,
like pretty soon, like within.
They actually play Tampa Bay twice in the next 4 weeks. So
damn.
So the next
time
we
do a lot of that this year, man. With division.
Next time we do this, they'll play Tampa Bay twice.
Perfect. Then we'll really know.
Exactly. Because their defense is legit. But we'll get to that
next time.
Yeah.
But number 12, the Philadelphia Eagles. So we have Bear ranking them at 16, Moose at 13, and I'm at 7.
Whoa.
I don't even like doing this to him, but I mean what we're seeing on the field, I can't ignore. Sure. I mean, the offense looks bad.
Yep.
And defense just isn't making up for it.
Yeah. I think and a lot of it is the coaching. I think our
100%
coordinators Kellen Moore is just doing the same thing that the last coordinator was doing. and I just don't understand. I just don't understand it.
And the thing that really gets under my skin is like I've heard a lot of people say that they're like, well, we just don't have any talent on defense, and I'm just like, how many first round picks can you have on defense? They can't all be bad.
That doesn't. Yeah. Well, I was gonna say being a first round pick doesn't mean that you're just good.
I mean,
But-
Jalen Carter isn't
Yeah, that's-
good. I mean,
No, Jalen Carter is amazing. He's great. He's been the best
Like,
defensive player.
is Davis bad? I mean, Quinion Mitchell's looking pretty
Davis,
good.
yeah, Quinion Mitchell is good. Jordan Davis is okay. He's been playing okay. He's there for run stop, which I guess he's been doing.
I mean,
Who knows? I guess.
I think sometimes he does that occasionally.
Yeah, exactly. the defense is just all over the place. No one in the only corner or DB I should say that's playing well right now is Quinion Mitchell, which is crazy because he's a rookie. Avante Maddox.
Slay's been off and on injuries.
Yeah, so Slay is off and on injury, but
And old.
yeah,
Lost
and older.
step.
Yeah, but he still is okay. But he's been getting beat recently. Avante Maddox, they just pick on constantly. The other teams,
I
we
wonder
need to
why.
get we need to get him out of there.
And
Which I
same
think
with
that-
Gardner Johnson, I feel like.
Yeah, Gardner Johnson's getting picked on a lot too. We're missing tackles. Everyone is missing tackles, and just
That's especially coaching. That's on
exactly.
defensive coordinator. Like you can't have your team be that undisciplined.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially if you're gonna let dump offs the whole time. Like if you're gonna leave open space 5 yards, like you're gonna give them 5 yards, like you better know how to tackle.
Yeah. And it's Avante Maddox. I did actually like. I think just his injuries caught up to him because he's been injured like every single year. But when he did play before the injuries, he was a pretty good slot corner. But I'm not saying great or anything, but he's pretty good. But I think it just caught up to him, and I don't know. He's just been awful.
So I really haven't had a problem with most of the offensive play calling. I thought they had solid flow. I think they mixed things up enough. I know the PTSD you're probably feeling is when they made Jalen Hurts do a QB draw. I think that's probably
well, yeah, that too.
Like that's pretty effed up. But like he wasn't. I don't think he's been bad. He's definitely been better than Brian Johnson last year. Kellen Moore. The yardage you guys are getting has been great. Like you guys been constantly within scoring position. The problem is you guys aren't converting them into points because your play calls on fourth down, which apparently half the time is what's his face calling him instead of Kellen Moore.
Yeah.
Which is insane. Like you shouldn't. Still, I mean, I'm not saying Kellen Moore's perfect. I'm just not.
Yeah,
I just think he's bad.
Yeah, I guess a lot of that reaction was from the Bucks game because that was just ridiculous. Because they were just constantly pressuring him, and they just kept calling the same thing over and over again. Even though they were just calling blitz, and there was like no boots, no like quick passes. Like everything's just like a deep pass. It feels like. And
I feel like that game, you guys panicked early just because they went down and scored immediately. Then you had that muffed punt. Then they scored again, like right after that, which was a dumb play by Isaiah Rodgers.
Yes, that was insane.
But and so you're down 14-0, and then after that, you guys are trying to play catch up on a team, and then on a team that's like 21-0. Now it's no excuse for you to have 0 yards, like no excuse. Exactly. You just throw that game in the trash, get your best weapons back, and utilize Saquon more, and you'll be fine.
Yeah, that was the next point I was going to get to is utilizing Saquon more
because
they just don't give him the ball in the first half. That's the thing.
Yeah,
they just don't give him the ball in the first half. It's insane.
You know how much of a Jalen Hurts fan I am. Like he's
me too.
One of my top 5 favorite QBs I've watched.
I don't even think he's playing that bad. I mean, he's obviously made some.
I think he's playing pretty not smart. I think he's playing dumb football.
I think his accuracy has been pretty bad at times. I kind of went back and looked a little bit of last year, like around this time last year, a few games, and the accuracy just doesn't look the same. And I don't know if it's maybe because he's down so much talent in the passing game, but it just seems like he's not hitting the same marks.
Thing, I think the biggest thing for him right now is, so obviously he was like a one-read QB, and he might still be. I think he's just trying to encompass what a $52-53 million quarterback's supposed to be, which is 1, he has to learn to read defenses. 2, he's got to learn to call protections, and 3 go through his progressions faster.
Mhm.
But he holds the ball too long too. Like,
yeah, and also,
I think he is going
Jason,
through his progressions. Like I do believe that
yeah,
is
I think
actually happening.
Yeah, he's going through progressions a lot more this year than he was before.
yeah,
But also with the calling protections, Jason Kelsey did that up until this year for him.
right. Yeah, exactly.
Jalen Hurts said that. Kelsey said that. Kelsey was calling the protections up
Mhm.
until this year, so that's a new thing for him.
Yeah, he's
So-
been pretty much exposed to an entirely new aspect of the mental aspect of the game.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think he's he might be just a little overwhelmed with all the information he's trying to use.
Yeah,
But
and
With a new offensive coordinator.
true, and
Yeah, exactly.
that's the other thing too, that he's using more pass. He's like a pass pro, or what do they call it? It's a different scheme where you're just like you have you're more pass focused scheme, where not like the RPO shit.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, if it wins games, it wins games. Like
Yeah.
you got to do what's winning.
Right. But Jalen also needs. I think long term you grow having him learn to do that.
Yeah,
Because his mobility has been slowing down. So, like, he's still a good runner, but he needs. I think the sooner he learns this stuff, I think he will grow into a much better QB in the future, even with all the growing pains they're facing right now. You know, they have to do it quick though because Eagles fans are unrelenting. So,
yeah, they are. I despise them.
I don't know. Anyway, I have thoughts on it. I feel like I just talked over that whole thing.
I do hope that Hurts can turn this around. But I mean, when your offensive line is playing really well, when you got a significant upgrade at running back, and you got the wide receivers you have, like it's kind of on him and the offensive coordinator to work this out. Like I don't think you can really point the finger at anybody else.
I agree.
I mean, I think a big thing is missing out AJ Brown because there's a
there's a few anybody,
yeah, there's a few throws, especially interceptions, that if that was AJ Brown that he was throwing to instead of Devontae or whoever, they would have been caught by AJ Brown and not interceptions or whatever.
That's a very good point.
So I don't know.
I just think when you're getting paid what you're getting paid, you got to play like it. I mean, it's later in his career, he's not going to be able to. They're not going to be able to afford to have everything they got right now. They're living on it high right now, but it doesn't have much more time.
Yeah, we don't have a lot of depth at wide receiver either. Well, like Jahan Dotson, Johnny Wilson, Paris Campbell being your top 3 receivers is pretty fucking awful.
Yeah,
like that's really bad. Dallas Goedert has obviously been showed up a lot more since then, but
thank God.
Yeah, exactly.
But even in his case, I mean, it just looks like at times he's been wide open, and it's like he just doesn't even see him.
All right. Well, let's move on to number 11. This is probably the wildest one. The San Francisco 49ers at 11. Now, Moose, you probably don't think this is wild, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Because you have him at 10, right?
Yep.
The Bear has him at 20.
Whoa!
And I have him at 3.
Oh, 20. I'm fine with 3. Like I can understand that, but 20?
3? 3?
Oh, absolutely 3.
3.
Yeah, they still have all the talent they have.
Yeah,
the way they played against the beatdown Rams and the Patriots,
they were almost
getting
blowing out
slayed by the Vikings.
The Vikings game is not an anomaly. Vikings been doing that to a lot of teams that you even have higher.
But you have them.
49ers.
Where do we have the Jets on this list? I mean, where do we have the? Oh well, I'm sorry, I'm mixing up my teams here.
Yeah,
where do we have the Rams on this list?
22.
Yeah. And you think that they're the third best team the way they played against them?
I don't. How about the play bad? Here's the crazy. Like I don't even think they played bad against the Rams. They gave up a 10-point lead that literally they would have won at any point in that game if one of their receivers caught the ball. 7 others dropped passes.
But
one of them. Yeah, they didn't.
But they didn't. They've played
bad because of the injuries, though.
But they're playing bad.
They're not playing bad.
They're not playing bad.
They're not. Yeah, they're not playing bad.
The secondary is getting torched.
Not particularly crazily though, like compared to
Particularly
these other.
crazily.
Yeah, the highest points scored of them was 24 or 27 with the Rams.
Yeah,
So, and that was an anomaly because it
On
was
a
like a
beat
crazy
down
comeback.
Rams team.
Yeah, but it was a crazy, like it was like an anomaly. It was like a crazy comeback win that Matt Stafford just put the team on his
yeah.
back and fucking.
How
won
many
the game.
times did Matt Stafford do that to other better
Yeah,
teams
exactly.
in the past? Like he makes a career out of that shit.
Yeah,
And
and
that was off of like a last second field goal too, wasn't it?
I don't know.
I mean,
man.
they
I'm not
definitely
very-
they definitely have some work to do, especially in the second half, because they get up to these leads in the first half and then they just kind of fall off. But I mean, they're still a really good team.
Yeah. They have like a top 2 offensive mind right now as
Yeah.
as their head coach. Their weapons are still great. I think Purdy's playing even better than last year. Like
Yeah.
he's dotting it up right now, and I think people are overlooking him the way he's playing.
Unfortunately, I wish I could be in the mind of the bear and hate the Niners more than I already do. But
I mean, they've gotten a lot of yards, but I mean, he's only had 5 touchdowns this year and 2 interceptions. I mean, he's not doing that great, man.
Yeah, I mean,
he's-
if you look at stats without context, then yeah, sure. But
I mean, just look at the scores of the games. I'd like.
I mean,
like,
it's 32-19, like they lost 23-17, lost 27-24, and then they won 30-13.
So doesn't seem too bad to me.
Yeah,
I don't know, man. I don't think they're that good. I really don't right now.
I think you're crazy, but that's
Well,
fine.
that's fine.
I think what the craziest thing their problem is right now is they still have Ronnie Bell on the team, and he should be kicked off the team because that dude has fucking stone hands, and the drops he has single handedly lost them those games.
yeah.
They would be 3-1 right now without him.
I just like they're down their top running back. I mean, Devo keeps being off and on injured, and so does George Kittle. Ayuk is not playing well. I mean,
No, he's not.
I'm pretty sure they're leading pass. I mean, they're leading wide receiver right now is Juwan Jennings.
Well,
That
put
goes to
respect on
yards.
that man's name, okay?
Yeah, exactly.
Based
He's been
on
playing really
what?
well. He's playing really well
Yeah,
he is.
with all the injuries.
I
that they
mean,
have.
you know, when you got that many weapons on your team, I mean, you know,
They don't
it's
have that
easy
many
to look-
weapons right now.
Are you?
But yeah, with
kidding me?
Debo wasn't even playing until last week,
Yeah, Devo didn't play till last week, and they got Christian McCaffrey out.
and
like-
George Kittle got hurt. So, and they also have pretty good defensive players. Like Fred Warner is the best linebacker in
Yeah,
the league.
definitely.
Like not even close at this point.
Well, isn't he injured now?
Yeah, I think week to week though. He might come back this week.
I mean, it just
He's-
seems like that secondary is not playing well at all. There's a lot of red flags here, man. I think they're going to keep playing worse.
Oh, I'm not saying they're like the world beaters they were last year.
They're,
But-
yeah,
They're
absolutely not.
but no one else is looking like world beaters this year either.
Mhm.
So I think in a world of non-world beaters, I'm going to stick with the world beaters that at least still look good and have the pretty good roster. So that's why they have them at 3.
Yeah, and I put them at 10, so they're just right inside the top 10. So
They're going to be good. They're going to be infuriatingly good. Well, watch this. I know. So if you looked at the stats, I saw this like tweet the other day or whatever they call it on X. What
Can you use that?
what the coach's record is during each month. So I think he's like 17-11 during September. Like I think he's like 6-10 or something in October. And then but during the rest of the years he's like 12-3, like 10-4. It's like crazy. Like the only month they look bad in is like October.
But
yeah.
I also feel like the teams in their division have all gotten better.
Sure.
Even
Yeah,
with
like-
the injuries to the Rams, like the Rams are still a good team.
Yeah. I mean, it was hard to find teams in general that I didn't think got better this year. It's just who got better more. Like the gap has closed between the Niners and other teams, but I still think they're better.
Yeah, they're definitely going to be in the playoffs and possibly even win that division still. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
there's
guess
so
we'll
many
find
people.
out.
Yeah, we'll find out. That's the beauty of these. We're gonna be wrong or right. You
Yep.
rub it in each other's faces at the end of it.
Mhm.
Um, hey, we got at least the Moose is like, hey, I'm good either way. I'm 10. I didn't go. I wasn't crazy either way.
Yeah, exactly.
But all right, we'll move on to the number 10 team though, with the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're actually tied with the number 9 team as well, but we'll go with Steelers too because that's how the order was picked.
Yeah.
I'm still
We all-
trying to understand what the defense did this week.
That's the weird thing is I'm kind of curious on how their defense is going to work because hurt Kirk Cousins team, they played a
The Kirk Cousins team that almost beat the Chiefs, that
a
beat
week
the
one.
Eagles.
I'm
Week
saying a
one is
week
so much
one, yeah, a week one.
mean, either
like
way.
coming off of an injury, Kirk Cousins is what it's all context.
But even with that same
a
context,
hurt-
hold on, time
Listen,
out.
I'm not done
With-
yet.
with-
I'm not
with-
done.
No,
yet.
no,
Let me
with that
talk for-
same context, it was Fields' first game with the team, and they still won.
Yeah, but your offense didn't win you that game.
Yeah, the defense completely.
They didn't
crushed
lose
it.
the game.
I mean, I guess.
Okay,
They
so
did.
to continue my point, so a hurt Kirk Cousins coming off his injury for the first time in months, probably didn't even practice much in the off season. You had a hurt Herbert for the Chargers.
In the second half.
Yeah,
No.
and they played decently well in the first half until he got hurt.
I mean, they're a good team.
Also, he got the high ankle. Herbert
the
got
way-
the high ankle sprain the week before.
By the way, they went the next week and played really well against the Chiefs as well.
And then we got. I'm just talking about the Steelers defense. All right.
I
And then they're
yeah.
playing the week 2 Bo Nix.
Well, I mean,
Rookie,
obviously
so-
that one is the click here, but also the offense played really well against that defense, and that defense isn't a joke.
I'm not saying that I'm talking about not as a team as a whole. I'm just saying I'm just not as scared about the Steelers defense as I am. I was trying to make that point, but you kept trying to talk over me.
I just think you're not looking at the whole thing here. I mean,
I am looking
think
at the whole thing. That's as much context as you're going to get, is what I'm saying. What I am going to say though, the positive side is like basically I'm just saying I'm not 100% convinced that the defense is that good. I think they are good.
Oh, I think I agree. I think I agree with you.
Right. And what the other thing I'm saying is, but the offense is way better than it was last year. Like way better.
Yes.
Like it's more
Night and day.
consistent. Way more consistent. I'm still not 100% convinced on them though either. They're kind of, but they are performing, especially with Justin Fields, like that the whole team let Justin Fields down last week because he played well.
Yeah. I mean, I think, I know I said this to you, but I mean, them being down 17 points this week, this was the first time, I think, since AB and Bell were on the team that I was like, they can come back. They can come back from this. Like, after they were gone, like, Ben couldn't have brought back 17 points after that. I mean, Pickett and Trubisky definitely couldn't have done that, and I don't even think Mason could have done it on his best day. I hope that they sign him away. They being Fields. I mean, I don't. As far as I'm concerned, I'm sold.
What's your opinion, Moose?
I mean, I agree with a lot of the stuff you said, Otter. I think the defense is definitely is what's keeping them in these games. I'm not saying that Fields is losing the games either. He's playing very well. He's not. I don't know what it's going to be.
Yeah.
In all honesty, because like you were saying, Week 1 Falcons, brand new team, pretty much brand new team, right off the bat. Bo Nix Broncos, and then the Chargers with the Herbert that shouldn't even started that game in the first place. And then the Colts, it's where they get the first loss. So I don't know. It's hard to say. I mean, yeah.
I mean, the reason for their success is because they're so disciplined overall, except for last game. Like the defense plays discipline, the offense isn't making mistakes.
Yeah,
and,
exactly.
Like
they're playing good football.
George
in
Pickens
general.
is a dog too. Like,
Oh yeah, 100%.
without him, they are lost. I don't think
Oh,
any of these
dude.
games.
100%.
I mean, they need another weapon in the passing game. I mean, there's no question. I mean, Jefferson has played down. I mean, I was hoping he'd be okay, but I haven't seen that. I mean, I was so shocked they did not draft another wide receiver from this class. I like a lot of the picks they've made. I think a lot of those guys have worked out, but I still think I would rather have drafted another wide receiver over either of our third round picks. I mean, the one hasn't even the wide receiver we did draft hasn't even touched the field yet.
Because of injury, right?
Yeah, he's been injured the entire time, and even so, a lot of stuff that was coming out of camp was that he wasn't even close to ready.
Yeah.
It's I will say this. I was nervous going into this year with Pickens. I wasn't really sure if he was a number one yet, but I mean, I've seen enough to believe he is. I just think they need somebody else because
Take the pressure off them.
Austin and Jefferson just aren't going to do it. Like
Yeah.
I know Calvin Austin got a touchdown. That's great, but you're not beating anybody. They're just not noticing you. I mean, it's kind of like the Jennings situations. If Jennings was on my team and he's my number 2, he wouldn't get anything.
I think you would.
I don't think.
I don't want to get into that right now.
Okay, fine. But I mean, I don't know. He's had 3 rushing touchdowns so far, guys. I mean, I think he's had 3. Has he had 3 passing touchdowns? Yeah, he's had 3 passing touchdowns. He's landed 1 interception so far, and he's getting better every game. I mean, he really brought them back in this game, and he did it with a beat up offensive line that's making me more nervous every week. He's doing it with not a lot of talent in the passing. I can't ask much more.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely would keep him in over Russell. Like, anybody calling for Russell to come in.
It's not even a question.
Is ridiculous. And I'm a Russell fan.
The only one. He's the only one that is.
I mean, honestly, like, there's so much buzz around, Russell getting traded. And I'm like, I kind of want him to stay. I think this is such a great opportunity to keep growing Fields. I mean, Fields, has said that, like, he mirrored his game based off of Russell.
Yeah.
Like, that was his favorite quarterback, and like this opportunity for him, like, you couldn't ask for better. And I really do think he's done well with what we got. But like I said, I'm nervous about the offensive line.
Yeah, like I said, Fields is playing good football, just in a general basis of that word. But yeah, he's playing well,
and he's not just running. He's
and
throwing.
you have a good defense. Yeah,
we'll see. I mean, it's a tough division. The Ravens are going to be tough, and I think the Bengals are going to be back up there.
Yeah, definitely.
And there's some tough games ahead. So I mean, we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Let's move on to number 9, the Green Bay Packers. I think if we would have done the week 2 thing, they would have been dropped 2. They got talent. They're going to be in every game.
Yeah, definitely.
They just happen to run into the bone saw that was the Vikings, but
yeah. And Love almost brought them back into that game. It was a crazy ending to that game. So
he farmed the shit out of that game.
And it was his first game back too.
Yeah, in the beginning of the game, he sucked. Yes, but at the end, he almost brought them back in. That's what I'm saying.
That's exactly what Favre
is. Yeah. So
he literally walked into the stadium wearing Favre's jersey.
Can we just like not talk about Brett Favre? Can we just leave him out of this?
I just think it's hilarious that he embodied his spirit by walking in and said wore his jersey and then played like him.
Just keep him away from the tax dollars. Apparently,
it's just a funny little observation.
Yeah, definitely.
It's funny. It's a word,
Ironic, whatever you want to say.
Jesus Christ.
This wouldn't be
Yeah,
my first choice to wear to a stadium right now.
I'm trying to get back on the actual football talk now. I just don't know what to bring up.
The team, damn it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they're gonna be in every game. Love is gonna be better the more games he plays coming back from the injury. And their defense is good. Well, good enough. I
Good
should say.
enough.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good enough. So it's gonna be interesting to see where they go from here with Love back now. Malik Willis did what he did to get them the wins, and
Played well.
let's just leave it at that.
He played well, and you know it. Don't do this to me.
I think the number 9 ranking really comes from just how well the offensive coaching showed during
Yeah, exactly.
Jordan Love was
Oh,
dead.
LaFleur's
Yeah.
real.
Like he took a Malik Willis coming off a Titans team that wanted nothing to do with him anymore.
Yeah.
He bashed them in.
And made a game plan where Malik Willis would feel comfortable starting the very first week.
Yeah.
And then showed out him even more the next week. Like that's just one of the best. That's probably one of the best coaching performances you're going to see in general.
Yeah, he put him in the perfect position to, win the game, and that's what they needed. And it was a perfect opportunity with the teams that they played, during that. So
yeah, he just turned into like just a top coach, like a top 5 coach for me, just because of that whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, that is like coach of the year type stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you can't get worse adversity than that. I mean,
yeah, he didn't ask too much of them, and they just got in there and won the games. So,
I mean, I feel like he did a lot more in his games for them than I ever saw for the Titans.
I'll give him the one game. The one game he played lights out.
Yeah,
the other game was kind of like handheld, but
like you know my love for this guy, but even I was like, oh no.
Now you get to watch him suck on all national television.
And he didn't. I mean,
he did not. He played well.
Yeah, definitely.
And like and they have like such good weapons too, just to keep this thing even rolling further on. Like, I mean, Jaden Reed looks amazing.
Oh yeah.
Josh Jacobs looks like a perfect fit for that offense. Their defense is questionable for me right now.
Yeah.
The pass rush was weird.
Yeah, that's kind of like where I'm at. But Xavier McKinney is like worth his fucking contract in gold. Like,
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, he's playing
4 interceptions.
Wow, I didn't know it was that high.
1 interception per game. Actually, he might be at 5. Actually, hold on, let me double check this.
Wow, I didn't know it was that high. I mean, I knew he was getting them, but
let me see.
He has 4.
Okay, cool. So he had 1 per game.
Yeah.
I was debating whether he had. I think he could have had 2 because I think he had 1 land in his hands and he dropped.
Yeah.
On another game.
I mean, he has 4 passes defended. So as well.
Yeah, he's been balling out, especially with like Baller next to him too. Like Baller's been playing pretty good.
Yeah. And Jerry Alexander's hurt again. So like always. Yeah. But when he does play, they're a pretty damn good DB group.
Yeah, we'll see how this defense works itself out in the future. I think they'll figure it out because they have too much talent not to.
Yeah, exactly.
I think we say that every year though.
Yeah. And they usually do have a pretty good defense.
Yeah.
Usually. And Kenny Clark is also injured as well. So
yeah, I'm not concerned about them. Who would have thought that like the NFC North was going to be this much of a bloodbath? Like,
yeah, I know.
I think we have, who was it? 3 of their teams in the top 10 basically now.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yep.
But yeah, I think we pretty much wrapped up Green Bay.
Yeah.
Does anyone have anything else to say?
Oh yeah, I think they're a solid team. Just hope Love can stay healthy.
I think he'll be fine.
Yeah, he'll be fine.
All right, moving on to number 8, the Seattle Seahawks. There's the funny part is I'm actually the lowest on them.
Really,
guys? Yeah. You have them at 8 Moose, Bears 10, and I'm at 12.
I mean, I think they're solid, but
Yeah, I mean, they're not a perfect team. I think Gino's playing out his freaking mind right now.
He is playing very well,
Yes, he is.
but your offensive line is.
Yeah, I mean, if he wasn't playing out of his mind, we'd be dog crap. So, with that offensive line, I mean, it would be Kenneth Walker and our weapons and nothing else.
Yeah, which Kenneth Walker has been injured. So,
Yeah, exactly.
Other than,
I mean,
I guess he's been injured for 2 of the games, but
definitely nothing new for him, but God, he looks fantastic every time he touches the ball.
yeah,
I
exactly.
was gonna
Yeah.
say, man, it's hard to stay healthy when you're carrying the whole team like you are.
He only had 12 touches against the Lions.
That's all he needed.
Apparent
exactly.
freaking 12 touches for 80 something yards and like what, 3 TDs? What was it?
Yeah.
Monster.
He's very good.
I think just like the Steelers, what I was saying about them with their defense, definitely the Seahawks defense might be a little not as scary as people were thinking too, just because one, the competition they played their first 3 weeks wasn't the highest, and then just got creamed by the Lions. Now, the Lions are a good offense, so sometimes when you play like an offense as hot as they were playing that night, I don't think any defense might have not have been good, but it's not good evidence though either.
And they're pulling out trick plays out of their ass on you guys like crazy.
It's true. Jared Goff receiving touchdown. What a load of shit.
Yeah, never
had a
thought
couple-
I'd see that.
Yeah, didn't they have a couple trick plays like with like flea flickers and shit?
They had I think they had 2. I know the Seahawks had one where they did a backwards pass.
That was
to
so cool.
Charbonnet on a cross route. They basically did what the Lions did to the what was it? Who did they beat last week? The Lions.
The Cardinals.
That was the first week. No.
the first week they
It was
played
the
the Rams.
Cardinals.
Oh yeah, it was the Cardinals. Yeah, they pulled that out against the Cardinals.
Oh, okay.
And they copied that from the Cowboys from the week prior to that, which is pretty funny.
Wow, never thought we'd come to that conclusion.
It's pretty great. I was like, we know what, we should have more of these. These are awesome.
Yeah.
So it's real. This is another team that's just really hard to gauge. I mean, they're this high, I think, pretty much because of Geno Smith, the weapons, and the offensive coordinator making the right adjustments.
Yeah. I think the ending of that game with the Detroit, I know it didn't end up like that, but it felt like there was like something special brewing, and then it just like collapsed, on the comeback. But I don't know. There's something special about your guys' offense that's going on this year. So
I mean, the wide receiver room is amazing.
yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
And as we've said, I mean, the running backs are pretty good. I mean,
Pretty good.
I mean, Walker's okay. Let calm it down a little bit. Like,
It's better than
obviously-
Najee.
yes,
I'm
I mean, it's
just
better
kidding.
than Najee.
I'm just
Najee's
kidding.
got a
I'm
better
just kidding.
line. I mean,
I'm just kidding.
I mean, I don't know. You know how much I like Kenneth Walker. I'm not.
I know you do.
I'm not. I don't need to make any more points for it.
Yeah, it's they're still a young team, young coaches, both of them fresh into the NFL. Well, the offensive coordinator is fresh to the NFL, one's fresh as a head coach. So I think they're still figuring things out as well. I think it was good that they faced an actual like playoff caliber team like that and hung with them. I think that's going to show a lot more for them in the future.
Yeah, definitely.
But we'll see.
I'm excited to see you guys play more, because it seems like a fun team.
Yeah,
to watch.
It's definitely fun. Like I wasn't like mad at all at that game, which was funny.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
I also like the Lions, so I'm always kind of like half rooting for them.
Yeah.
It's hard not to.
But yeah, but the Seahawks are gonna die by the offensive line. That's for sure. Like any game they lose is probably gonna be because their offensive line pass protection is terrible.
Yeah,
especially the interior. Like Connor Williams isn't playing bad, but the 2 guards, Laken Tomlinson, or as I like to call him, Laken, open the door for you, Linson.
That's such a stretch.
Man,
I thought it was going to be so much better than that.
I hear the
I
anger in your voice.
Oh, fuck, that's so stupid.
And you loved it.
I just was expecting an actual like pun on the name, and it just wasn't at all.
Just absolute shit.
Yeah, exactly.
But their D line's playing great when they're healthy.
Yeah.
Secondary will be much better than they played last week. That's for sure. So
I
we'll
hope
see.
so.
We will see. But what do you guys? Any other thoughts on the Seahawks?
No, I think you got everything out.
Yeah, I really can't think of much more other than I just want to keep seeing this D line play
Yeah,
to really evaluate them.
Yeah. Looks like you guys got a bunch of questionable status on a bunch of guys right now on defense, but
yeah, that kind of sucks. But we'll see. Luckily, it doesn't seem like anything serious for any of them. So,
and yeah, Byron Murphy has been injured, right?
that last week was his first week he was injured.
Oh,
he's been double teamed most games, so that's probably why you don't hear much from him.
Okay. I was going to ask.
Yeah, because Leonard Williams and Draymond Jones have been eating in when he's been getting double teamed.
No, that's good.
So take it.
Yeah, exactly.
But all right, let's go into number 7, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Who would have thought? So here's the spread for these ranks. We have 14 ranked for the Bear, 9 ranked for the Otter, number 4 for the Moose.
Yes, sir.
That's a nice spread.
I don't know how you can have them at 4, and I like the team. I mean, it's not like I don't even like them, but I mean, the way they got beat down by the Broncos, I don't know, man.
It's the NFL. What else has happened?
Just because they beat your team down doesn't make them amazing.
I mean, they beat down Washington and Detroit as well, but the
Washington week 1.
Yeah, very true.
They
but
were
they also
they were
beat
not
Detroit.
Sorry.
Well. The Baker, I mean, has been playing his best year so far.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
agreed.
yeah, and their defense with Bowles as the head of it. Bowles is a very smart guy, and he just puts their guys in this best scenario possible for them. So I just think that they got a lot of talent too on the team. So I just really like them, and I think they're gonna keep playing well.
Yeah, the defense, I mean, is playing solid, and I mean, the issues they had on that offensive line have greatly increased versus last year. I mean, last year they were bad, but this year, I mean, they're serviceable. I mean, you know, they've got some great pieces on it. They've got some holes, but the holes are really not as bad as they were. I mean, Godwin's looking better, and you know, what's their rookie wide receiver? I don't know why I can't think of his name offhand. Out of Washington, like he's made some plays already.
No, Jalen McMillan.
Yeah, McMillan. Like he started out faster than I expected. I mean, the defense is playing better than I.
He has 3 catches for 59 yards.
I mean, that's not bad for a rookie.
I guess.
How's your rookie wide receiver doing?
Terrible.
Yeah, most do. I mean, I think he's doing pretty well for a rookie. I mean, the only issue I have with them is really the run game. It's not great.
Yeah. I mean, Bucky Irving's been actually playing really good. I thought.
Yeah, he has.
White's never been a good running back. He's been a good
hate
back.
White. You hate
he's a good.
White
He's a good.
much.
I don't hate.
I gotta be honest. I'm not a fan either.
I just don't like how he. I don't like him as a running back, but like
people just like him because of fantasy.
Yeah, as a scat back, he's awesome. Put him out in the. He's like. You put him out as wide receiver and he'll play just as good. Like that's how good a pass catching is. Like I love it.
I agree. It's funny how much we talk about White, how much you trash on him.
It's like, well, he's not a real running back, so I'm just kidding. White, don't hurt me. But like they got a veteran defense that's not even fully healthy.
Yeah,
like I think they're gonna be getting even better as the time goes on. Like. Like Vita Vea's a beast.
Yes, he is.
Antoine Winfield Jr. hasn't even been playing most of these games, which is crazy. Like, not crazy that he's hurt, but like crazy how well they've been doing.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that, like I said, is Bowles, Todd Bowles, and how good of a defensive mind he is.
Yeah, his blitzes are so hard to defend.
Yeah, definitely.
And even their rookie Chris Braswell's been popping in and out. Like, he's been looking good. Hopefully, he gets more snaps.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, in general, I think the defense is solid. I mean,
Yep.
I really don't have any complaints about it. I mean, like even with losing Carlton Davis, I mean they're playing really well even without him. I'm pretty shocked.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, they're just like, if Mayfield keeps playing the way he is, they're a very complete team that will be in competition like every week.
Yeah, exactly.
No matter who they're playing.
I 100% agree. That's why I put them so high. I think they just are a complete team, like you said.
Hey, and you could definitely look more right than the rest of us, because I mean,
I think 4 is rich, but I mean I do think they're a good team.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like looking at it. There's really nothing to complain about with them.
Yeah, exactly.
And I was honestly worried about the new offensive coordinator coming in. Immediately, I'm like, all right, well, I'm not worried anymore.
Yeah.
So,
also, I have a spiteful ranking, and that's up there as well that we haven't talked about yet.
A spiteful ranking.
Yeah, and I don't really have a reason for it, but there's a reason why the Bucks got up there for. But
all right, well, we'll see how that goes. You're gonna have to tell us about spiteful ranking. I think I have an idea.
It's just me being dumb, but
I think I have an idea what it is, but we'll see.
Like this team that I'm talking about should be above them in my rankings, but I don't like it.
I know who it is then.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I know who it is.
All right, so number 6 is the Houston Texans.
They're getting a little cold on me.
Yeah.
Compared to where I was. I mean, I thought of them as probably one of the best rosters when we were looking into preseason, but I mean, they just seem to be underperforming. I don't know if it's just the loss of Mixon and they can't get the run game going the same.
Oh, 1,000.
But even the offensive line, man, like Laramie Tunsil has been getting a lot of penalties, and it's just the offensive line in general just hasn't looked as good as I thought it did last year. And I just thought with all the weapons they have to throw to, I thought they'd be way further ahead in these rankings than this, but they just really haven't performed to it.
But because of all those, like, I still think they could figure things
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm not too worried about him.
Like, Nico Collins is coming off as like a top 5 receiver in the league. The way he's playing
absolutely.
now.
Definitely.
Like, oh my
I don't. Yeah, there's no question here.
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of these top rankings where I put them is like the level of opponent that they played against as well. So I mean, yeah, I put them at 7, which I mean, they're going to be probably a top 5, or they definitely will be a top 5, I think. But I mean, the only great team that they played was Minnesota. So I don't know, and
That's
they got
true.
destroyed. They got destroyed by them. So
I mean, the Colts are pretty good, man. Like they're not
yeah,
obviously.
I mean, it was a close game. It was 29-27, but it was also week 1. So
week 1 against the division rival, like crazy shit happens all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
Same thing with the Jaguars, though. Like we were talking about, like the Jaguars are always they have the talent to keep things close. It's just I just think that the way CJ Stroud plays, like he's got that killer instinct in him that I don't think Trevor Lawrence does, and that's the difference in that game.
Yep.
And I don't think he's playing bad at all. I mean, I think he's been really good.
Oh, I agree.
It just seems like they can't get the run game going as good as I expected, and the defense has been spotty too, in general.
Yeah, that's the one that's kind of concerning. Like you have Danielle Hunter and Will Anderson. Like you should be.
I mean, Anderson finished the year like very like pretty high for me, and like he seems very inconsistent this year, and I don't understand it.
I think he's just getting a lot more attention.
That could be it too.
But you would think with Hunter on the other side, he wouldn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, Will Anderson has 2.5 sacks, which isn't terrible, but it's not, up to standard, I guess. But
He's not where I thought he'd be at this
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
I mean, they've pretty solid guys all over the place. I mean, the secondary is, I think, really good, but they just, I don't know. They've looked really good in some games in the secondary. Some games they haven't at all. I'm kind of surprised.
Well, they're also this really young secondary themselves.
Yeah, that's
Like,
true.
2 rookies are starting for them right now, and then 2 third years, which with a third year that's hardly played his first year.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's like, yeah, they'll get the communication down. And Jimmy Ward's been hurt, off and on. So I think he's good. I think he'll play. Once he comes back, everything will get sealed up pretty well.
Yeah, he's also the veteran presence on that team. So on the defense, at least. So
Yeah,
I'm not too worried about the Texans, really.
Yeah, Denico Autry is on suspension right now. So, and he's a pretty good pass rusher himself.
Oh yeah.
Once he comes back, like, I can see that having a huge boost as well. Like, if they figure it out and then they get him back,
yeah,
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, definitely.
What is he out for?
I think performance enhancing.
Yep.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and it's 6 games, so he has 2 more games.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not worried about them. I mean, I still think of them as one of the top tier teams, but I just thought of them more in the top 5.
You were looking for more domination.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, the Colts, I understand. The Vikings, I get it. But the Bears and the Jaguars are the games that scare me. Those two, I'm questioning pretty heavily.
Yeah.
I expected them to blow those two out.
And they could be one of these teams that gets cold at the start and then gets hot later on. Like, they were like that last year too.
Well, with the rookie QB though.
Well, yeah, I know.
And I do think they've upgraded significantly all over the place.
Yeah. I think that's the difference between like having more weapons and a veteran QB is that you win those games that your team's getting sluggish on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
But anyway, anything else on the Texans before we move on?
I don't think so. I think we're good.
Dope. All right, top 5, baby. And who would have thought? Number 5, the Minnesota Vikings.
Nobody.
Hey,
I don't think anybody would have thought.
Okay, never mind. I thought you guys were going to put them higher than 5.
We all had them 5, which is
never mind then. Okay, that was the one that I was talking about. That I was like, I was going to put them higher than
spite.
Yeah, exactly. Because I'm like
better than the Bucks right now.
Yeah, I'm like
I don't know.
The Vikings I put up there, and I'm like, I just feel like it's going to come crashing down at some point. Like, this is not real.
Trust me, Vikings fans are thinking the same thing.
They're like, all right, what's the catch?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, they're not even playing ref ball. Like, they're winning the games outright. They're outright beating everybody.
And against good teams.
Like, Darnold is playing like the quarterback I thought he was going to be coming out of college.
Yeah, that's the Jets effect.
I mean, they dominated my number 3 team and my number 6 team, like, completely.
Yeah,
like, they deserve to be up here.
Yeah, definitely.
Even if I'm like still like me ranking them at 13 at the beginning of the year, getting absolutely roasted for it.
Yeah, we were wrong.
We
were right.
It turns out I was underestimating them too.
Yeah, exactly.
As they say, clocks
right at least twice a day.
Yeah, at least twice a day.
Yeah,
I mean, the defense shocks me.
They're playing really well.
Really well. I'm very surprised.
I always forget the defensive coach every time.
Flores.
My God.
Flores, yeah, Brian Flores.
Yeah.
Did you see what's his face said from the 49ers QB? Brock Purdy said to him after the game.
No.
He's like, yo, your scheme is fucking wild, man. That's some crazy shit.
That's funny.
I was like, damn.
That is pretty funny.
I think he's really good at playing against young QBs. I think that's kind of what it is. Like he
Yeah.
throws shit at them that they couldn't
Never
even
seen.
imagine,
Yeah, exactly.
and it just completely fucks their game plan.
The Green Bay game when Green Bay was coming back and was almost brought it back or whatever. I think that is the talent difference between them, where like they've been playing really well because of the coaching and all, but the talent is finally, I think, was starting to catch up to them. They ended up still winning, but
Yeah, like the mixture between defense and like,
yeah.
Yeah. Though I mean, like you have the best wide receiver in the game right now. Their offensive line is playing way better than I even thought they could.
Yeah, I don't get it. Honestly, I don't understand it at all. They are playing like a top offensive line, and on paper they should not be.
Yeah,
and they played good every game.
Mm-hmm.
Like after the Giants game, I'm like, whatever, it's Giants. You beat the Giants, and then I'm like, what? Like,
also another crazy thing, TJ Hawkinson is coming back soon.
Oh yeah,
I know.
God, add some fuel to that fire.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, Justin Jefferson is amazing. It's crazy what I know he's a top wide receiver before even this year, but this year what he's doing with Sam Darnold is insane.
Yeah, and this is
Aaron Jones.
This was without Jordan Addison for the first 3 games too.
Well, yeah, exactly. I was going to say that as well. And the other thing that's crazy is they're throwing the ball all over the place. Yeah. It's not like, oh, it's just Jefferson. No, they're throwing it to guys I don't even know who they are. That
Naylor.
Yeah, and like other guys. I mean, they're throwing it everywhere, and it's like, oh, okay, well, we'll run the ball a lot too. Like they're very balanced.
Yeah, I'm just saying with Justin Jefferson, like some of the catches he makes, and like he's obviously Sam Darnold's go-to guy, and if they need a score now, it's Justin Jefferson, obviously. But like, yeah, he's amazing. He's so fucking good.
Yeah, Sam Darnold's like, I don't got to worry about anything. I just got to throw it at him.
Yeah, exactly.
He's gonna make you look real good, no matter even if it's a shitty throw.
Yeah, exactly. Some of the catches he makes are made already, and it's only 4 games, and they're insane.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm trying to hold back some excitement right now.
Yeah, I think you're right, Bear. Though it's like I think the defense is the key to this cog, though. Just with they don't outright dominate the way they do without their defense playing out of their minds.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I still don't get it, and it's all coaching.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I think it's all on Flores with that one.
Yeah, I think Jonathan Grenard over Danielle Hunter matches their scheme a little bit more than they did last year because he likes those like weird coverages. Yeah. And like who's blitzing, who's going out. Like Jonathan Grenard can cover. Danielle Hunter's not that type of player. He's just a headhunter.
Yeah. Yep.
It just feels like
I think it matches that game. Their team. I think the way they're building just matches the defense more than it did last year too.
But just like from game to game, it just looks like they're building a really good culture.
Oh yeah.
Like.
Yeah, that too.
I'm really impressed.
Yeah. I just don't know whether it's that. I mean, I think the big other key to this thing too is Sam Darnold is playing.
Oh yeah,
football. He is
definitely.
He absolutely is.
Like I said, I just have a feeling it's like gonna all come crashing down at some point. I might be totally wrong. I might be totally wrong because they've just been dominating teams. But I don't know. It's the Vikings, and with the talent that I see on their team, like I just feel like it's gonna come crashing down some point. But
look, I only hear that level of spite from actual Vikings fans. So. They're saying the same shit. So, all right. Well, let's move on to number 4, who's actually tied with the Vikings in total points, but because we have 2 top 5 or 2, so you have Moose ranked him 2, Bear ranked him 3. I ranked him 10.
Okay. All right.
I mean, the offense is 100 times better than I thought it was going to be.
Bear, we didn't say who it was yet.
But I know who it is.
Yeah, I know, but the people that are listening don't.
It's the Bills. Buffalo Bills.
That was funny.
Sorry.
I mean, it's pretty impressive, honestly. Like, it doesn't even feel like they've lost a step at all on offense. I mean, defense is playing so much better than I thought. I mean, Greg Rousseau is playing a hell of a year. I mean, and I mean the secondary just. I just can't believe what they're doing with the talent they have on that defense.
Yeah, and they probably would have been my number one team until this literally Monday night,
Until
like 3
Lamar
days.
came in.
Yeah, 3 days ago when
Slap
Baltimore
them up.
just Baltimore just ran down their throats just the entire game. But I mean, it is Baltimore with Lamar and Derrick Henry, and I think that they're finally starting to mesh and get together and get everything right. But it's the way that they dominated the first 3 weeks against not really great teams, but it's still that's just the domination of them and how good Josh Allen is and how well their defense is playing. I mean, they're really fucking good.
Yeah. I was just worried about the quality of wins that they had is kind of why I didn't want to, because I already
I
had
understand.
them ranked. Well, I think I had them ranked 16 when I started this year, so I didn't want to jump them up crazy much just because I'm still worried about their roster overall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't like putting them as high as I did, but
I actually had them at 19, so I gave them a significant bump in their ranking in 4 weeks just because of the quality, like how like they look like a complete team, but against teams like, the Dolphins where Tua got hurt, and even, they always have Tua's number, the Jaguars who looked inept, and their defense didn't play as good against the Cardinals as you like, not as dominant as everyone was saying the Bills defense was.
With all the changes.
Yeah, and that was absolutely confirmed with the Ravens. Like when a playoff caliber team came in, like they got wrecked.
yeah,
Well,
I understand.
And they're also winning on offense in ways I wasn't expecting. Like Kincaid hasn't gotten that much this year, and I thought he'd be their number one receiver going in this
Yeah.
year. It's like they're throwing the ball all over the place. I mean, like, it doesn't seem like there's a number one target right now, at least from what I've seen.
Mm-hmm.
But like they're just spreading the ball everywhere, and if there's somebody that maybe is really doing the most, I mean, is Cook. I mean, Cook's
James
doing a
Cook,
hell of a
definitely.
job.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're actually running the ball this year.
Crazy.
They started to do that late last year, and then James Cook started popping off, and then now they're actually starting to doing it, which I think will help them tremendously.
Was it who is their offense coordinator? Joe Brady.
Yeah. Joe Brady.
Yeah. As soon as he came in, they switched up the scheme, and I think it's more beneficial for Allen. The whole
definitely.
thing's not on his shoulders anymore.
Yep.
Like it's a complete balance for the offense. And the defense is also healthier for it too, because now they're not getting gassed all the time by him playing in shootouts.
Yeah, exactly.
Or stopping the clock because he's like, I don't know, he's just, it's not like he can't do it. Like we've seen him do it tons of times, but
yeah.
How about do it when maybe you guys, things aren't working out? Then you switch to it. Like it's just like another club in the bag,
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
I love how they're doing it. That's why I'm having him as a top 10 team. I'm just
definitely.
I just wasn't ready to put him top 5 yet.
Yeah, I don't blame you at all.
I mean, is it me or does it just seem like he's being a little smarter with the ball as well?
Oh, 1,000%.
Like they get the run game going, all of a sudden he doesn't have to play hero ball the whole game.
Yeah, exactly.
He's seeing the field way differently than he used to.
I agree. And he's still rushing. It's not like he's pulled away. Like he'll still rush when he's gotta. Yep. He'll throw the ball when he's gotta, and he'll hand it off when he's gotta. Like he's doing what he needs to do.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really impressed with this team.
Yeah, he's the top QB this year, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah,
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
But all right, maybe that should put him up higher on my list. But yeah, we'll see how it goes next time.
Well,
but
there's still some things that can change very quickly.
Yeah, definitely.
True.
They're very volatile. I think when you look at the roster, but I still love what I see right now.
All right, let's go to our top 3. Number 3 is the Baltimore Ravens. So this is Otter and Bear ranked 4, Moose 6.
Okay.
I mean, they're a team figuring it out. Like,
definitely.
I think they had an identity problem first 2 weeks.
Yes, they did.
I agree. A little
And-
worried about the participation of Flowers right now. I mean, it just doesn't seem like he just keeps getting open, and Lamar's not throwing to him. That makes me really nervous. But I mean, I believe they'll turn it around. But I mean, otherwise, the defense is wow.
Why throw ball when ball run good?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I mean, it's crazy you bring Derrick Henry in and it changes anything. But I think the thing that I don't think is being talked about enough is Justice Hill.
hmm
Like, don't get me wrong, Derrick Henry's great and all, but man, Justice Hill just brings that second punch in,
Yeah, definitely.
and
It's a
he's
good one
been a
too.
game changer. Yeah, like it's not like oh well, you know, he's just picking up the extras. He's a serious contributor. I mean, he's doing a hell of a job. O line's
Yeah,
not
I
playing great.
100%
Sorry.
No, I was gonna say I 100% agree. I mean, he's second on their team with receiving yards, which is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, and it's not just dump offs either. That's the thing. I mean, like,
Yeah.
you know, they're doing some game planning with him. Like some of the plays are directed for him.
Mhm.
And you know, I didn't expect the running game to look this good with that offensive line. And they're playing okay. But you know, there's definitely some holes on that offensive line. I think Lamar is looking really good again. But I'm still scared because, well,
Right.
that Raiders game, I don't know what more to say.
Yeah. I think that a big issue with their offense is the lack of receiving targets that Lamar has. Like it's Zay Flowers and Isaiah Likely pretty much, and
Well,
Justice Hill. But
to be
and
fair, his number one target is barely on the field right now. I
Who's
mean,
that?
Mark Andrews.
He's on
I
the
mean,
field.
yeah, he's on the field. He's been playing.
He's on the
not
field a
doing
lot
much.
actually.
Yeah.
They're using him in blocking situations more than putting him in routes.
Yeah, but he's not looking good when it's coming to passing.
Oh no. Well,
Yeah.
I think his first week he actually looked good. They just didn't. They were just bracket coveraging him. Like,
Yeah.
and then the second week was kind of similar. Like they're making sure Mark Andrews is taken out of the game to see what Lamar does.
Yeah.
And they used Likely the first week. Now the last 2 weeks, they just don't even use Mark. Like they throw him. He's a blocker, and that's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's kind of weird. That's the scary part on those 2 weeks.
Yeah, and I mean, Zay Flower is getting his targets. I mean, he's the most targeted receiver on their team, but I mean, that's kind of the only receiver that the other teams have to worry about.
I mean, Bateman.
And,
I think Bateman's played better this year, though.
yeah,
That's
I
I don't
mean,
think by a significant degree though.
yeah, exactly. And I think it's just
I mean, he's
because
contributing, which compared to the last few years, I mean, is
I think it's mostly because I mean he's just getting left open because of all the other
that could
But-
absolutely be the case.
with Isaiah Likely and
That's
Mark
true.
Andrews and Zay Flowers
Likely
and Justice
hasn't
Hill.
had the best, like yeah, he blew up 1 week, but like he hasn't been that great.
Yeah, but you still got to account for him when yeah. So because you can't just leave him open in games.
Yeah. They just can't have these fourth quarter collapses like
Yeah, exactly.
that. Like there's no excuse. Like with the defense, you guys have the talent on it, and if you have Derrick Henry, you should be running the ball and killing clock if you're up. Like I don't understand how you let that happen.
And-
Yeah, it is unacceptable. I mean, to beat the Cowboys down as bad as they did, and then to just let that happen.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
I think that has again to do with coaching because it's a new coordinator, which I think Otter brought up in our first power rankings that he's a brand new coordinator and he ranked him lower than we did because he was worried about that.
Well, this is a second year.
But to be honest,
right.
Harbaugh has such a history of just playing down a competition, especially when they're way ahead.
Yeah.
I mean,
They also don't have the confidence in their kicker anymore.
I mean, I don't have the confidence in their kicker anymore from
true.
what I've seen, and it feels so weird saying that. He's the best kicker I've ever watched, and I just don't get it.
Yeah, he's missed 3 field goals already.
Insane.
Yep.
I I mean, I
And-
know the bar is high for him, but it's high for a reason.
See, the 50 yarders I can get. Like if you're getting
Yeah.
older and your leg just doesn't have that anymore,
Mhm.
like you can't help that.
It's
But you're
just
also
shocking
he's on.
when he's always been the most reliable kicker.
Well, he's missing 40 yarders now. Like
I know.
that's the
Yeah, I mean, so he missed 2 50-plus yarders and 1 40 to 49 yarder.
okay. So maybe we're
He's-
a little trying to doom the bells too quickly, but I mean this has been a case late last year too.
Yeah.
So
I still agree with you guys, but it's not as bad as we're blowing it up to be.
I guess it's like automatic Justin Tucker is not automatic.
Yeah,
so we gotta freak the fuck out.
exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Like
But-
90% of Justin Tucker is still better than like
Yeah.
pretty much every team's like most teams kickers.
But this defense, man, like for the most part, has been lightning when they're on it.
Yeah.
Like I've been so happy with what I've seen out of Ajabo this year and Owe. I think both of them have made a step forward
Yeah, definitely.
on that defense. And I mean, Humphrey, he's still healthy, which is always a good start. And I mean, Wiggins has been okay. I mean, he's definitely, making some rookie mistakes, but I mean,
Mhm.
he still doesn't look that bad.
Hey, he's playing well.
Yeah, I think he's playing a lot better than I expected.
Yeah, definitely.
But I think, I know I have bias here, but man, I just think they're such a good team. But what they did
Yeah.
to the Bills, I don't think many teams could do right now.
I think they're just built really well overall to be consistent. We'll see how it goes throughout the year. I'm not concerned about them.
Yeah, not at all.
Let's go to our now number 2 team, formerly number 1, Detroit Lions.
Ooh.
Hutchinson, man.
Say no more.
What more? Like, wow. What more can you say? I mean, he is playing lights out.
Yeah, he is. He's
Yeah,
really good.
that D line in general, I mean, is playing lights out.
Mhm.
Especially in the run game. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
I mean, the offense is looking amazing. I mean, Goff is throwing a lot of interceptions, and they're still pulling it away. It just surprises me. Like,
Yeah,
I
they have so many options on offense, and they do so many different things with them that, I mean, that they're pulling out trick plays and doing a bunch of stuff that
and
just
Jameson
works.
Williams, he's really lighting it up.
Yeah, they finally have a deep target.
Yeah,
It's not even like going deep too. Like you see his like across the field stuff.
yeah.
That's true.
Like
Yeah.
he's running past through space like before linebackers or anybody can get like he's flying past them before they could even react.
Yeah, definitely.
It's awesome. Like it's great to see, and it's going to make pretty much the rest of the team better. The rest of those offensive weapons. Like if Goff doesn't make those mistakes, I think they're 4-0.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
Also, I mean, what's killing him is Terrion Arnold as well. But
A little bit.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean,
Look,
he's a rookie, but
yeah, he just has so many penalties. It's crazy.
I mean, in general, though, like he's not the only one that's a problem on that in
Yeah, I
that
know,
corner
I know, I
room.
know,
Like,
I know.
there's
I just thought it was funny how many fucking penalties he gets on him.
Yeah.
in
I mean,
rookie
he
corners.
played-
This is very common.
I mean, no, I feel like this is still an anomaly of how
Yeah,
many he's
definitely.
getting.
It's a
Like
lot.
the sheer number of them is crazy, but that's going to come with his play style. Though I think he just needs to learn when to, like, how to grab. Like his technique still needs work.
Yeah.
And like you said, it's rookie stuff.
Mhm.
You know, maybe because like that's how Joey Porter was. He had like when he first started playing, I think he had like
You mean now he
6 his
still is?
first 3 weeks, and now he only had 2 the rest of the season.
Yeah.
I don't know what he's doing this year. I didn't look into his stuff, but I think Terrion Arnold will have a similar thing where most of his stuff's going to come early until he learns to know when to let go. But we'll see. I mean, they love his play style, so they're going to keep him out there.
Yeah.
And they definitely trust him because I mean they're not double covering on his side as much, even with getting beat a lot of the time.
Yeah.
I mean, so they believe in him enough to leave him out there. But I mean, we've seen a lot of rookie corners do this. It's a tough position, especially when you're being left out on your own on one side of the field. I mean, you're gonna get targeted as a rookie. It just is what it is, and he's just got to cut down on the handsiness.
Yeah, this
There's not
this
much more you
team's.
can say.
I think that the secondary is going to eat as the D line also just keeps applying the pressure, like because no one's going to be able to run on them, so they're going to be in long distance situations, and that's if the secondary can like not give up long third downs, huh, they're going to be almost probably unstoppable with the combination of weapons and defensive talent.
I mean, even with the corner issues they're having, I still think the secondary looks better than last year.
1000%.
Yeah,
Carlton
let's
Davis
not-
is a dog, dude.
yeah.
Oh,
Kirby
yeah.
Joseph is playing out of his mind.
He
Ryan Branch
absolutely
will be
is.
back. Even
Yeah.
Meek Robinson hasn't been playing too bad either.
No.
I just
And,
like some of his plays.
and honestly, like, I mean, you tell me what you think, but like, I feel like Terrion Arnold's gotten a little better game to game.
Yeah. No, definitely. That's not.
I mean,
we weren't
the bar's not
saying
high,
he was.
but like,
We weren't saying he was awful. He was just costing teams free first downs constantly. Like his talent, the way he covered Lockett, I liked. Like he should have. If I'm being honest, he should have had like 2 more penalties the way he was playing against Lockett. But they're not going to call everything. So, and I like how they started calling it. The thing that annoyed me though is that they weren't calling it the first half really, and then they just gave him all of them like the second half. I'm like, all right, that's fine. You guys can be consistent. Either don't call them or call them.
Yeah, exactly.
wait, you want the refs to do like what they're supposed to do?
Well,
yeah,
and
definitely.
that part is like if you hear him talk, he's like so humble,
Yeah.
sort of like he comes off at it anyway. Maybe that's just his southern charm, but like he was so upset of himself for losing the first game.
Yeah.
That he had, or was it again? Yeah, I think it was the first game because he dropped the 4th down pass that lost him the game on the sideline, and he was so beat up about it, even after pretty much being the whole offense. I was like, yeah, that's not on you, bro.
Yeah, exactly. Not his fault.
But how about you, Bear? Who's your offensive rookie so far?
Oh man, I mean, whew, there's so many.
Pick one, just one, just one.
You know what? I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna go with Braylon Allen.
Braylon Allen.
Wow, man, he's playing freaking lights out, man. I would not be shocked if somehow in a year or two he's actually the guy there. Like it's insane how well he's doing. I mean, he's one of their top weapons right now, and it's been pretty consistent. He's clearly the number one running back as far as rookies go. I mean, like it's not even comparable. He's the only one worth talking about, let alone the only one that looks like he could be a star. And I mean, the thing that I think is kind of crazy is, like, with Wisconsin, they didn't really throw the ball to him at all, and like now he's doing a lot of passing stuff, and it's really impressive. I mean, I think he's an absolute star in the making.
He's like bigger Brees without his level of explosiveness.
Yeah,
but when he gets up to speed, it's like a freight train. he's fantastic. I don't even know how to describe it. Like he kind of reminds, like his running style kind of reminds me of Derrick Henry's a little bit. Just like once he gets up to speed, like he's so hard to bring down. He's just so big, and he's only 20 years old.
Yeah, he's the youngest touchdown. I think he's the youngest to ever get a touchdown.
Wow.
I didn't even know he was 20. That was kind of mind blowing.
Yeah, excellent. All right. Well, let's move on to defense real quick. Since we started off with the Moose last time, let's start with the Bear this time.
Oh man,
who's your defensive?
I love talking about this guy, man, and I didn't even need to know what number he was to know which one he was on the field the first time I watched him. That's Jared Verse on the Rams, man. He is an absolute stud. I mean, I expected him to take a little bit of time. I wouldn't have been shocked if his first year didn't turn out so great. But man, he has come out the door like lightning. I mean, it's He is a game changer on that defense. You could argue he's one of their best defensive players right now, which is just crazy. I
mean, yeah, I wouldn't argue with you at all about that.
Yeah, exactly.
I did not think he'd just be this good right off the out of the box.
The way he's getting off of blocks is just absolutely impressive, and just creating pressure constantly. High motor guy.
He's always around the ball.
It's just I'm very impressed.
All right, I'll go into mine. I'm kind of stuck on 2.
I really hope you don't take mine because I don't have another one.
Oh,
I think I
know who you have to take.
I'm leaning towards it, but there's one other guy I really like. But you know what? I'm gonna pass, and I'll just let the Moose take it. Go ahead, Moose. Who's your guy?
Oh, okay. I'm going to say Quinyon Mitchell, obviously.
Oh, okay. You did not make my life easier. That was who I was going to take.
Oh, really?
But I do like Quinyon. He's the other possible one.
No, he's been playing really fucking well.
Yeah,
he only allowed, when he did cover Mike Evans, like he only allowed like 1 catch, I think it was, or maybe 2 or whatever. And whenever anyone else covered Mike Evans, he just was open constantly. He's probably our best defensive back right now playing. So he's impressed me a lot.
Yeah, I never seen a guy play zone and man like right off of that well.
Yeah.
Like just technique wise. Like
yeah.
It was like pretty impressive.
Yeah. I do think he does get, the one thing that bugs me about him is that he does get very mouthy to receivers in games.
That's because he was hanging out with your other safety.
Yeah. But I mean, other than that, I mean, he's been playing really well. He's been almost lockdown on his side of the field. So
yeah, he's had some rookie mistakes, but as far as rookie corners go, like you can't complain about. Like he's only going to get better.
Yeah, I mean, of rookie corners, he's definitely the best so far.
All right. Well, now that I got to decide, I'm going
back to square one.
Take. I might have to do a coin flip. All right. I'm going to do one because I'll probably talk about the next one later at another podcast. So I'm going to go T'Vondre Sweat. Big, beefy boy on the Titans.
He's hard to miss.
I mean, he is a plug. Like you're not running past him.
No, I mean he's playing really well.
His pass rushes aren't bad either for the lack of I think the lack of technique he has. I mean, he's just bull rush and go, but he has so much power. He bulldozes people over. He's a freaking tree stump, man. Like,
and he's definitely on the field more than I thought he was going to be. Like based on the rotation we saw out of Texas. Yeah. Like, I didn't think he'd play as many snaps as he has been.
And he's so tall that how many I think he had like 4 batted passes already.
Wow, really?
I know he had like 2 week 1. I think maybe 1, or he probably has 3 or 4.
I know I caught 1. I didn't know he had that many.
But he's he's just always he can get in the passing lanes if he's not getting there. And I think he's a big reason that their D-line is so good right now, because if he's setting that middle as consistently as he is, like he lets the other guys around him, because you're required to double team him regardless. Like it doesn't, even though you have Justin Simmons next to him, like you have to double team him because he's so big and strong. I just like the tape I've been seeing of him. Like I love it.
Yeah.
But all right, well that about wraps this podcast up. Only 3.5 hours?
Yep.
We could do another hour if you guys want.
I'm good.
I don't know how you have enough energy.
I don't think I do. But yeah, I think so far crazy season. I'm excited to see where it goes from here.
I think it's just gonna get better and better the longer the season goes on.
Or more despair, depending on who you are. But
I'm just talking about the league in general.
Thanks for listening, everyone. Let us know what you guys think, who we're right or wrong about. Any other rookies we might have missed. But thanks for listening. Bye.
Bye-bye.